The Cellcast is recorded in front of a live streaming audience.
Hello and welcome to another episode of The Cellcast Shorts. Joining me today is nobody. Unfortunately, I am by myself due to Jacob having to be out to take care of a family emergency. So you got me tonight, all by my lonesome. And tonight I am going to be doing looking over a topic that I've never been able to sell Jacob on, but I still think it would be kind of fun because in my mind, animation's not just about the movies and the TV shows, even though it's a lot about that, but I also enjoy seeing animation in other things such as, commercials and video games and stuff like that. And a couple months ago, I was looking, about a year or two ago, we were still having the Super Smash Brothers character trailers coming out. And I thought, it would be fun to talk about those. And for whatever reason, Jacob just wasn't up for it. Fine. And so with this coming up last minute, and him not being able to be here, I tried to come up with an idea on the quick that I could talk about for roughly the length of an episode with little to no prep time, if we're being honest. So yeah, today I am going to be watching and what's the word I'm looking for? You can definitely tell I'm by myself tonight. I'm going to be watching and ranking the Super Smash Brothers character, or the Super Smash Brothers trailers, because it's more than just the character reveal trailers. So we are going to get started in here in just a second. I am going to be doing this on Tier Maker, and I will at least release the this picture when I am done. And I'm doing it this way because I feel like I need to do something besides just talk about these, but I also didn't want ranking, and ranking is an easy thing to do. But the problem with ranking some of these is a lot of them are like of different time periods. So like the quality of, like, say, one from the N64 era is going to pale in comparison to what they're able to do during the modern era. So I kind of just wanted to go over, which ones were just the coolest. You know what I mean? Which ones raised the hype level the most. And that's generally my idea for this one, if we're being honest. So yeah, I've got 54 different trailers that I am going to be ranking. My tiers are basically a S tier, which is the highest one. That's going to be the ones that I think really get you super hyped for the game and show the character. A is going to be, okay, this is kind of good. This is still good. It's great. It's just not like making me geek out hard. B tier is just going to be middle of the road. C tier is like, okay, that kind of worked. I don't know who this person is, kind of a thing. But yay. And then lastly, D tier is just going to be, why did you do this? Best way I know how to put that. So yeah, and we've got, I said like about 54 of these. And I'm just noticing that this did not upload this in an order that I could easily see them. In fact, yeah, they're all here. I just can't see. They're not in order is my problem. And I don't even see my first one that on Tier Maker here. Oh, it is here. I'm sorry. It ironically is at number one. It's just in a weird spot. I should put this. I am live streaming this, of course, as we always do. All right. So we are going to go ahead and start with our first one here, which is we're going all the way back. Oh, I should say the first thing we're starting off with is probably not going to have any real animation in it other than I guess technically suitmation, because we are seeing characters in suits. And I wanted to start with this one because this is literally how I first discovered Super Smash Brothers back in the day, like late 90s. Because, at the time we didn't have we didn't have streaming. The only real way you found out about new games coming out was magazines, or people who claim to be reading from the magazines, or TV commercials. So yeah, we're actually starting with a TV commercial for the original Super Smash Brothers on the Nintendo 64. So let's go ahead and start with our first commercial here. So we got Mario, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, and Pikachu walking through a field of sunflowers when Mario kicks Yoshi in the knee and they all start fighting.
Something's gone wrong in the happy-go-lucky world of Nintendo.
I remember this being so strange. Again, we do have actually some game footage in here. But this is how I learned about Super Smash Brothers even existing, which is crazy enough even to me at the time. So yeah, this first one, I remember when I would have watched this, I would not have known what I was looking at. So for this first one, and I kind of feel it, so because it does sell the concept of a mascot brawler, which this was the first of its kind, but I don't know. And as hype as it is, I don't know. It doesn't really. It's funny. It's crazy. But it's B tier. I'm sorry. That's just how it is. It's B tier. So now we're going to be looking at the Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 64 intro video, because I consider this a trailer, even though it's on like the game itself. It's just an in-game trailer, for lack of a better term. But yeah, when you turn the game on, this is one of the very first things you would have seen. So we've got a hand dragging a doll of Mario onto a desk, and the spotlight comes up on him. And then the hand, and this is, like I say, it's a gloved hand that's with no arm. It's counting down now, and the desk has turned into a battlefield, and Mario just stands up and gets ready to fight. And yeah, it's just a quick intro video showcasing all of the basic characters. It's kind of what you expect for an attract screen of this era. So you got Link on his ocarina, Pikachu on a Pokeball, Donkey Kong smacking Samus into some palm trees, Yoshi's with eggs, the Star Fox on the Great Fox, and then Mario getting ready to fight Kirby. And as they clash, this is the full version, so we actually get all of the characters on screen right there at the end, including all the unlockable characters. And yeah, I mean, this is hype. I mean, this is not something you get to see. I mean, what the other commercial was doing was like saying, "Here's this. Isn't this a funny idea for a game or a cool idea?" This honestly would get me hyped to play the game back on in the 64. Animation wise, because this has got a lot of machinimation, because I believe on the 64 a lot of this would have been rendered in real time. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it was all rendered in real time. And I don't know, this does get me hyped in the way that a good crossover would, So yeah, this one I am going to put it at A tier. So this is all I really had for Smash 64. Next, well, I could have done next this would be Super Smash Bros. Melee, which was the second game on the GameCube. And there is there was a trailer for this, but it's literally the intro video, but with a couple of stuff switched out, and the only version of that we actually have is one that somebody happened to record on like a Sony Handycam or something like that back in the day. So I actually am just going straight to the Melee video, intro video, for this next one. So Mario's getting thrown up in the sky. He's on a stand now. And light shines as he's comes alive. And yeah, this is definitely epic. You've got showing off Princess Peach, showing Mario, and you got Bowser pop up. You got Donkey Kong running through a forest. Samus fighting Ridley while holding a Metroid. Link posing in front of a thing, and then of course all three of the parts of the Triforce. And this is going faster than I can talk about it. You got Captain Falcon, Kirby, Ice Climbers, Pikachu, Yoshi, Zelda, Ocarina of Time Link. You got Sheik facing the sky, showing that they were the same character, if you didn't know that already. Kirby riding on a warp star. And the Star Fox, R-Wings going. You got Ness showing up in I think it's one side. You got all the original Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon. F-Zero Racing going past in a very quick way. All the characters grabbing together, getting ready to fight Giga Bowser, it looks like. All these characters on screen, all the vehicles, a bomb, and then everything explodes, and yeah, once again, this gets me hyped to play the game, which is the main thing it's supposed to do. It's the way it comes together. It is awesome to watch. But I mean, yeah, it's A tier. Let's be honest. This is definitely A tier. All right. So yeah, that was all I had on Melee, and it's just because they weren't really doing much around this time. We're getting out into Super Smash Bros. Brawl, which originally came out on the Wii, and I would say this is the first one where they were actually trying to show off new characters. So yeah, we'll go ahead and start in on the announcement trailer for Super Smash Bros. Brawl. So you got these characters in their Melee things, and then the resolution goes up. And I do want to point this out before we go much farther. They came in with their Melee renders on screen, running towards it. You got Mario, you got Ocarina of Time Link, you got Pikachu, and then you got Kirby. And then they kind of had an energy effect where it showed them upscaling. So Mario's overalls started looking like they're made out of denim. The quality goes up. You see the cloth on his shirt and on his hat, and you can kind of see the hairs in his mustache. Link changes from being the Ocarina of Time Link to being the one from Twilight Princess, with all the upscaling all the detail that includes. Pikachu gets like a fur texture, gets obviously more hydrogen. And then you got Kirby, who literally nothing happens to as the energy wave goes up. If that's not a joke about how there's just not much to Kirby in terms of graphic wise, I don't know what is. But yeah, we'll start with this. So we get the main theme, which is composed by Nobuo Uematsu, and this is mostly Machinima showing all the different characters fighting. You do see the Smash Ball for the first time, and a Final Smash going. You see Mario's, you see Link's Final Smashes, you see Kirby donning a chef's hat, cooking Mario. They're fighting in front of a I can't remember the name of Meta Knight's thing, but yeah, we got Meta Knight here. So he's our first new character of this game. They're showing off. And as he guards himself from Pits from Kid Icarus. This is before Kid Icarus Uprising, so this is more based on like artwork from the original game, not a character model. And as they're fighting, you see Samus back there and is charging up a shot. And as she fires it, her armor falls off and she's now in her Zero Suit form, and is Zero Suit Samus. Now you see a motorcycle coming in with Wario riding it in his WarioWare attire, and he kind of crashes. The song cut out. He's looking back and forth, and we get the greatest fart joke ever shown in video game history. Oh my word. And then, right after that, okay, so what just happened is we get the, if you've ever played Metal Gear Solid, you know, they have the codec conversation, and we are going to one of those, which is odd at this time because this was the Wii. And Solid Snake would have been, and this time would have been on the PS3 exclusively with Guns of the Patriots, I think, which is it was the fourth one. And we had never had a third-party character in this. So, this is all in Japanese. They did not record an English version of this dialogue, and forgive me that I don't know I know which one is Solid Snake, and I'm guessing the general here that he's talking to. I know in the English version, he's actually voiced by the guy who voices Ben 10's uncle. I know it's the same guy, but I don't remember. I don't know the guy's name. I want to say Roy Mustang. I'm 95% certain that that's a character from Full Metal Alchemist. So I don't think that's actually his name. But he says, "Snake, sorry to bother you, but I got big news." What? Not another absurd objective, I hope. Are you familiar with Super Smash Brothers? Ah, that Nintendo thing. Yes, we've received an invitation for you to join. Are you up for it? Where are you right now, anyway? I'm on reconnaissance duty, and we see he's in a cardboard box on Battlefield as the camera zooms out to a battle going on between Mario and Link. Because knowing your enemy is the quickest path to victory. He raises up, and Snake's our first third-party character. And I remember that being a hype moment at the time. Even though I had not played any of the Metal Gear Solid games, it's like, okay, we've got this guy. I don't know much about him, but this opens up the floodgates for anyone to be in Smash Brothers. So I was excited. That's our Bobo in the chat says, did Wario have a fart attack in that? I don't recall that. He still does in the modern versions of it. I think it was just more prevalent in this one, but it was one of those that it had to build over time. And once it did, when you did one of his attacks, I don't remember which one, it let off something called the Wario Waft, which was a fart attack. And they were showing it off here because he's Wario. He's disgusting. That's who Wario is. I can tell you when I first saw this, and I was already getting super pumped for the Wii, because I wanted a Wii. That looked like it would be fun. At the time, we were still calling it, I think, the Revolution, because that was the code name for it. And I will stand by this. Revolution was a much cooler name for that console than Wii. But besides the point, actually, it might be been called the Wii by this point, because the trailer I watched all this from was from IGN, and it does call it the Wii trailer from E3. So, yeah, and that was at E3. I remember this does get me excited, and plus hearing Nobuo Uematsu music in there, I knew it the minute I heard it. I can't tell you how I knew that was him before they announced it, but it kind of has that Final Fantasy-esque epicness to it that Nobuo Uematsu created. And of course, it's in Latin because it's Uematsu. He loves Latin. But yeah, this is another hype trailer for me. Does it get me super excited for the game? I'm not going to go that far. I'll give it an A. Sorry, I'm looking for the picture again so I can do this. And I don't know which of these is it. Like, as we get to the later ones, it's easier because I can actually see the characters in there. But in here, it's just like, oh yeah, it's this one. It's Mario with, in the pot with Kirby. See, I'm giving this an A rank. So far, we've got these in A. We have the Smash 64 intro. We've got the Smash Melee intro, and we have the Brawl announcement trailer. And then in B, we've got the old N64 commercial, which is fun in its own way. It's just like it does what it needs to do. This next one, though, I have a suspicion is going to might be my first S tier. So we've got running through the forest, Mario's, and it's we got a blue hedgehog.
Sonic's the name, speed's my game.
I can tell you, when I first saw this trailer, I was hyped because I was always a Sega kid growing up, and then we got Sonic the Hedgehog in a Nintendo game. He is actually in the same game with Mario. This isn't just me being a Sega fan. This is me being a 90s kid. This is both awesome, amazing, and felt wrong on so many levels because the console war of the 90s, this was just so epic for a kid of that era to watch and go, Sonic the Hedgehog and Mario are in the same game and you're going to be able to fight them, battle them together? There's a shot in this, I kind of just geeked out the minute this started, but there's a shot in this where you've got Mario kind of posing like he does in the song, and Sonic's is posing next to him, and it's this cool image. It's the end of an era in so many ways, because Sonic first appeared on the GameCube with Sonic Adventure 2 after the Dreamcast died, and that was already weird. That was just a couple years before this, folks. And now we've got Sonic the Hedgehog in a Nintendo game, in a mashup. It's just like, whoa, that was awesome. Now, granted, this did delay the game for a couple months from when it was supposed to come out, and for Sonic to still be the fastest character in the game, they may have had to slow everybody else down. But I can just tell you, at the time I watched this, I was just hyped for this. If there was anything that sold this game to me, that took it from, that might be fun, that might be cool, to this is a game I'm going down to GameStop and pre-ordering, it was this trailer. Hang on. Yeah, it was this trailer, because it was like, this made this game history for me. So yeah, Sonic the Hedgehog in Brawl, in Super Smash Bros. Brawl, is going S tier. It just is, because it's a moment in history. You get right down to it, that's what it comes down to. It's a moment in history that is never going to come again when we see two of gaming's biggest rivals in the same game. Sure, it's the Nintendo produced game, and yeah, Sega will go and produce the Mario and Sonic at the Olympic Games, and they'll arguably put out much more games faster, because those games are kind of shovelware. But yeah, this was the epic time for me. It's like Mario versus Sonic, and it's no longer, we'll actually get to see who actually can win in that fight. So after that, we have got the actual Smash Brothers intro cinematic, which of course we're going to go full Uematsu again. I believe this version I'm watching here is the full version that's got all the characters on the screen, because when you first played the game, only the characters you unlocked were on this ledge. And I think this version that I'm watching on YouTube has all of them. I can definitely see characters I know were unlocks on this, so I'm assuming it was. I should point out before we get too far into this is that Super Smash Bros. Brawl had a story mode that had a bunch of pre-rendered cutscenes. Now, I'm not going to have time to go watch any of the cutscenes for this, but I did want to point that out because a lot of what's in this, if I remember correctly, is from those cutscenes edited together. But yeah, you put the game in, this intro video plays. Yeah, you got Mario, you got Link, Kirby, Pit, Zelda and Peach, Meta Knight, Donkey Kong in full rare form, Diddy Kong, I hadn't mentioned he's in this, Star Fox, King DDD, Sheik, Pikachu, you can kind of see there, Marth, I think it's Marth, Ike, it could have been Ike. And you're showing all these characters in these great moments, Olimar, Yoshi, giving them all like their due as they're getting ready to take place in these epic boss fights. You do have Sonic in the intro video. You got Snake. They're both on their levels. Wario, Lucas, Ice Climbers. And you just got this epic music playing in the background. This feels like we're leading to an awesome fight. This is how intro videos should be. And all this is show editing together different cutscenes from the story mode, along with a couple of scenes from like some that were obviously machinimated on some of the stages. But yeah, this is what I mean by hype. This gets me hyped to play the game that I just put in the disk drive. And you got Pokemon Trainer with all three, with Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. You've got these scenes of different characters flying towards the screen. It's just this. The thing is about this is it's not just this could also be like the intro for like an action adventure game. This almost feels cinematic, like for a movie. So yeah, for this intro, I'm almost tempted. I'm almost tempted to put it in the S tier, but because I honestly, of all the intro cinematics, I think this is technically the best one because of the inclusion. But the thing is with all of these intro cinematics that we run into is that there's no original animation made for this, like for some of the other things that we've seen, because all these are just edits of other things. But this is kind of cool. So yeah, I'm not going to put it in S tier. I really can't. But I will go ahead and put it in. I think I'll go ahead and put it in A tier. Which yeah, all the intro cinematics so far are in A tier. I still don't have anything in C or D. We're gonna get to some of those because we get to some of these characters. I have no opinion, if we're being honest. But we'll get to that in a minute. So yeah, that finishes off what I've got for Brawl also, just because there's like, yeah, this is before Nintendo really, or Smash Brothers was really pushing this stuff online. They were still going through the conferences. And this is where things change because the games director, this is the guy who's directed all five Smash Brothers games, Masahiro Sakurai. One of the things that annoyed him about this game's release is that it got released in Japan first, and so all these cutscenes got uploaded to YouTube before they came over here, and because there's no dialogue in any of the cutscenes, everyone in America got spoiled before the game even came out if you went and looked at them. So in order to get past that going forward, he decided that all these cool cinematics that they were making, we're going to make those the trailers, and then we're not going to worry about a story mode. That's kind of bad for their next game, but it gets better. Trust me, it gets better. But we're going to go ahead and hit our next game, which this one is technically two titles. You have Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo 3DS and Super Smash Brothers for Nintendo Wii U. Or as we collectively call them nowadays, Super Smash Brothers 4, because ironically it's the 4th game, and 4 is the only word besides Super Smash Brothers that's the same in both titles. So we will go to this next one. So we've got the Smash Brothers symbol showing up, and we've got already kind of hinting at what's going on, because we open up on a Animal Crossing village. It's like, oh, I guess Villager is going to be a new fighter in this game now? But that's kind of a cool idea, but it's like, of all the characters you could put in a Smash Brothers game, this character who seems like he would not fit is who you're putting in there. And granted, you have people like Captain Falcon who had no moveset. He didn't even have a full model outside of artwork prior to Super Smash 64. And yet they made a moveset based on just, honestly, I think off Kamen Rider, if we're being honest, because he's definitely got kind of that Kamen Rider feel to him. And that's one thing. And you've got, but even at least the Pokemon, even like Jigglypuff, even though Jigglypuff is a joke character, Jigglypuff had a moveset to pull from. So they could actually it wasn't like completely strange that Jigglypuff was a fighter. Villager, on the other hand, they had to come up with some stuff based on this game, but they did do a good job, I think. So yeah, we see him, and this is also the first time we get to see the letter, the invitation to Smash Brothers. We will see that a lot going forward. And we see the Smash symbol on the seal. And now we're showing off all the franchises that are going to be represented. And then, as we get to Pokemon, we then go to a outline of Mario, because that's the thing. They're putting this on the Nintendo 3DS also, and they had to put outlines around the characters to make them easier to see on the screen. And I can tell you, I didn't care about the 3DS version because I'm not a portable gamer. I mean, this is cool that you can pull this off, but at the same time, this was not what I wanted to see. So I was nearly disappointed until we get to this scene where they switch to higher res models. And now, we were getting another version, I assume on the Wii U, as that was that console that was out at the time. And we're obviously seeing this version of Link is from not Wind Waker, Skyward Sword. We're seeing a couple new stages here. No real new characters, and then we got Villager. And here's the thing about this. This is also the first time we get the intro title card of so-and-so does a thing. And here we got Villager comes to town. And this became a meme for a short time. This picture of Villager with his eyes, is almost creepy demeanor in his smile as he kidnaps, as he gets Mario in his bug net. And it's like, you're coming with me now, Mario. Is kind of what it looks like. But yeah, this was a meme for a while, so we got that. So Villager is obviously a new character, and they're showing Villager off, and that's the only new character in this entire trailer, just showing that it exists. And it's like one for Nintendo 3DS and one for Wii U, and that's this trailer. I'm gonna tell you right now, this is going in B tier because of the 3DS stuff for me. And it is literally just, here's the game, here's Villager. Isn't that funky? It's like, well, I've never played Animal Crossing, so this character being in it just feels weird to me. But it's like, okay, this is cool. I'm excited for I'll definitely play the Wii U version. Don't know about the 3DS version. So yeah, this is going on in the B tier for me. However, when Nintendo kind of gives you lemons, they give you something sweet to go with it. So yeah, this next one, I can tell you I was much more excited for. And this was in the same direct, if I remember correctly. It was just at the very end. So we got new challenger approaching. Obviously Smash Brothers, if you'd forgotten. You've got all the characters staring up at a figure silhouetted against the moon. It's like, what is this? And it's just a guy, looks like a kid with hair. And then the hair changes to a helmet with a familiar sound effect, and it lights up, and we see that it's Mega Man. He teleports off onto like the battle, the boss battle intro screen for the levels, and his thing says Mega Man joins the battle. And now we got some machinima of him fighting the other characters in game, showing off his moveset. We got Rush. We got him doing Mega Buster attacks. It's like, okay, yeah, this is cool. And we actually do get to see his stage, which is in front of Wily's castle. So it's like, okay, that's kind of cool. And then we get another cinematic, and he's obviously been damaged from the fight. And we see it go into his head, and we see that he's changing weapons. And one of the cool things about this for eagle-eyed viewers is that, you know, it's showing which robot masters, you know, the boss battles he fought, which of their weapons they're going to, and they all have the robot numbers. So, like, for instance, this first one is Metal Man with Metal Blade, and it actually says, oh, this is DWN number 009. And they do this with all the characters that they show them doing the different things. So it's like, and then of course we get some awesome Mega Man music in the background of this. His Mega Buster changes to a hand. He has two blades, throws them, and nearly kills Mario and Link. We get to Crash Man, and I missed the number. I mean, back up a little. So we got DWN-013 Crash Man with his Crash Bomber, which is DWN-016 Woodman with Leaf Shield. So that's a shield. DWN-020 Hard Man with Hard Knuckle. I'm assuming his main punch attack. Oh, yeah, it's showing different ones. The fun one is Guts Man, because here's the thing: if you don't know your Mega Man lore, while Dr. Wily was the creator of all of the Robot Masters in the other ones, technically Dr. Light made the first set of Robot Masters. So this is DLN, Dr. Light number 004 Guts Man. So it's like they paid so much attention to the little things that didn't matter, but showed an attention to detail that made me go, okay, y'all know what you're doing. For this character that's not even Nintendo's. So Mega Man's arms change to flames, and he burns all the other characters. We get the logo. And we come back to the stage, and we see the yellow demon forming on Mega Man's stage for him to fight, to show that the stage hazard for that. Here's the thing. I didn't play a lot of Mega Man games growing up. I remember thinking Mega Man was cool. I remember the Ruby Spears cartoon. And so seeing him in here, it's like, oh, this is awesome. We're still doing third-party characters. Great. Because, you know, we didn't have this confirmed yet. And it's like, okay, who do we got next? How awesome can this continue to be? And of course, you know how it is. And this was just an awesome one to see, even though I was not a big Mega Man fan, but I had watched some Mega Man and played some Mega Man at this time, so I had some nostalgia for it. But yeah, this is S tier. Yeah, I've got all blue characters so far in the S tier, but it was just one of those moments that got me hyped, especially originally. So Bobo said in the chat, in reference to Villager, I believe, he says a Lego-like head on Villager. He says, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, that's basically it. But this next one, this kind of shows you how weird they were going to get. And if I remember correctly, this was not even at a presentation. They just randomly showed this on the floor. Had the guys had Miyamoto and Sakurai and whomever come out. They talked about it on the floor, and then they left. They showed the trailer, and boy, is this a weird one. So, yeah, I'm having to wait because it keeps doing the ESRB logo because a lot of these are from the Smash Brothers trailer. So yeah, we've got the Wii Fit Trainer on screen, standing on the balance board, zooming out, and we've got Mario, Link, and Kirby trying to do the tree yoga pose to the game. And Kirby trying to do that is funny because his proportions don't allow for that. But they're sitting there and trying to hold the pose along with it. And someone taps Mario back, and it's the Wii Fit Trainer, and she does a yoga pose and knocks them all out. You're going, do what? The Wii Fit Trainer is a fighter in this game. Of all the weird things you could do, this is still kind of fun, but it's like, this is an odd choice for a character. Wii Fit Trainer weighs in according to her title card. So it's like, that's a thing. To this day, I still think this one is weird. And yeah, it doesn't really hype me and makes me go, why did you do this? So yeah, for me, I'm putting my first one in the, C tier because this is just like this is cool, but why? So yeah, our next one, it's a little bit more fun. And if you're wondering why I keep having these gaps, it's because I am watching from the Super Smash Brothers commercial YouTube channel for some of these. So they have the little ESRB, this game is not yet rated thing at the very beginning. So I have to wait through that for it to get to the actual video. So we've got, as will become standard, that little that Smash Brothers intro there. You got Kirby on a Warp Star riding through the galaxy and coming up on what looks like Rainbow Road from Super Mario Kart. Or from, this actually I think it was from Mario Kart for 3DS, but I could be wrong. It's the Rainbow Road stage in Smash Brothers. Okay, so we see a Warp Star from Super Mario Galaxy, and it shoots past, knocking Kirby onto the track, and he nearly gets run over by some racers on Rainbow Road. Whatever it is flies past and then falls onto the track, and it's a Luma. Luma walks back to make sure Kirby's okay, because he didn't want to hurt him, I guess. And as they're looking at each other, the other racers pull up. You see Donkey Kong, Mario, Bowser, Luigi, and Peach trying to figure out what's going on, and then Luma runs back to his mistress, Rosalina, who's just shown up, and yeah, Rosalina and Luma launch into battle. So yeah, adding another Mario Princess was not the end of the world, not a horrible thing, and Super Mario Galaxy was a very popular game, so to see this in here is not surprise. And of the princesses, I do like Rosalina, I think, more than the others. But this is still kind of an interesting character because she fights with the Luma. Because it's not Rosalina, it's Rosalina and Luma. And at least the Galaxy stage does kind of have that curve. So it's like, okay, that's kind of a cool idea. And of course you got Super Mario Galaxy music in the background, which is always fun. And you got a couple of cool little moments throughout this, but honestly, it's okay. I'm going to put this one on B tier for Rosalina and Luma. Once I find it, here we are. It's not bad. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't hype me. I like Rosalina more than I like some of the other princesses, but she doesn't have, ironically, the gravitas, and this doesn't really sell me on her as a fighter. But Rosalina is still an awesome character, so it is cool to see her in this. I will say that. But this next one, we get a little bit change up to the formula. So here the art style is a little different. It's all kind of in a 2.5D thing. It's 2D art, but it's obviously done in a 3D plane. And it kind of is hand-drawn, but also kind of not. Very much a lot of cell shading kind of look to it. And we see a guy in a pink sweatsuit exercising and like he's training. And with not much guess, if you know anything about classic Nintendo, you can tell this is Little Mac right off the bat. So it's like, and that makes sense. Little Mac's a boxer. It makes sense he would be in a fighting game like this. Even if it's a different type of fighting game than he was in before. And he hits a Smash Brothers sandbag. We see Little Mac punches in. And then they make fun of him for his height. What's interesting here is they've got Samus behind him. And they're on the... Actually, I just realized this is probably a 3DS thing. Because this looks more like a 3DS stage. Which is probably why Samus is got the thicker outlines. I hadn't thought of the fact that on the 3DS, those outlines changed the art style that much. So maybe that's kind of what's going on back here, is that this is designed to look like the 3DS things. Because even the Little Mac punches in, this is still that 3DS inked art style, which is kind of cool. It's wouldn't have made me want to play the 3DS version. So yeah, Samus is looking at him and going, "Really? You're this short?" And he knocks her out.
It's your time, man.
So we've got Little Mac's trainer talking to us in the background, and we see that the boxing ring one we saw earlier is slightly different because it's based more on the boxing ring from Punch-Out, and we see him doing boxing against bunch of other characters in these fights on different stages. It's cool. We have switched more to the Wii U side for a lot of this in-game cinematics. And we see that he doesn't have a good recovery. He falls off the stage easy. And then we get his Final Smash where he turns into a giant Hulk-like being. And we see he builds his power meter. He can actually perform knockouts that knock people out of the stage. That's a cool concept for a fighter. And for a character I know very little about. I don't know. It does the job pretty good. So, I'm gonna give it a B tier, just because I don't know this character that well, but it does kind of get me hyped for potential matches against the guy. So, yeah, I think it does good on that level. And I'm vamping because I can't find the image here on Tier Maker. Oh, there it is. See, I'm going to put it in B tier. And then before we get into this next one, I do want to point out that by this point we'd found out that the 3DS's limitations meant that some of the characters that technically were more than one character that could switch out, they had to be axed because the 3DS really could not handle that in the memory for an 8-player match. And while the Wii U could handle it, Sakurai wanted the games to have the exact same character roster. So there were a couple of changes, as we'll see in this first one, which admittedly, this will do what a lot of these start to do, where they show off, okay, here's kind of a character we haven't confirmed yet, but he's not the main reason you're here. So we see a bunch of Pokeballs falling and opening up and putting out a ton of different Pokemon, with Charizard and Pikachu standing atop, showing that Charizard fires it up because he's the new character. Before this point, we did have Pokemon Trainer who could switch between Squirtle, Ivysaur, and Charizard. And unfortunately for this game, they had to axe the trainer himself plus Squirtle plus Ivysaur. So all we've got is Charizard here, unfortunately, which is fine because of the three, yeah, that's the character that makes the most sense as a Smash fighter. And we see him getting ready to charge Mario down here. And a bunch of the other Smash fighters as they're getting ready with different items. And we see somebody's hiding in the shadows. It's a ninja of sorts. And I can tell you at this point, when I first watched this, I was like, okay, it's the Pokemon thing. Whoop-de-doo. I was like, oh, cool, we got Charizard. This is a cool fight to watch, but I don't know how much I care. And then they do something for me that at that point, when you see the Shuriken kind of charging up, it's like, they didn't. They're not including this character, this Pokemon. And we see the fire, and then all the water Shuriken hits them. Mario and Charizard get knocked to the side, and we see, all right, this trailer is actually for our Pokemon rep. Greninja makes a splash. And here's the thing, folks. If you have not listened to I think I mentioned this back during our Detective Pikachu episode. Greninja's my boy, okay? He is my favorite Pokemon. I got way back when Gen 6 started, and I was playing through that game, and I was kind of vibing with it. I was getting into it. Up until that point, I really had not had a single Pokemon like really vibe with me, where like this is my guy. And I went with Froakie because I had never done a water starter, admittedly, when I was doing that. And it's like, oh, he's kind of a cute guy. I like frogs. We'll go with this. Who knows how this will turn out? And then you get Frogadier, which is like, okay, cool. And then Greninja is like, and his water shirk was my favorite freaking move. And sorry, I did it again. I hit the wrong button again. But Greninja was my boy. He's my favorite Pokemon, and I'm really I was really happy to see him in here. I was like, okay, I may have a new main. To try. So we see Greninja going into the different fights against different characters, as you do in these, running across the stage, doing different attacks, showing off different water moves. He fights different characters and does different ninja style attacks. Fun fact, his little scarf there is actually his tongue. It's like, okay, that's kind of funny. We see he has Substitute. And he's getting ready to fight all the other different Pokemon characters that show up in the game. That hangs out with Sheik, because Sheik is technically also a ninja character from Zelda. And we're showing off like some other things here too, or specifically for this game. For instance, I think this was the first time they had announced Lucario, I think, but they hadn't done much with him, I think, since Brawl. And they were showing that off, but then they were also showing off Charizard's Final Smash form, which is Mega Charizard X. Since he couldn't use the triple finish from they used with the Squirtle and Ivysaur. So they're showing that off in here too. And if you're going to do a Mega Evolution, that's the one to do. And they show off Greninja's Mega Evolution, not Mega Evolution, his Final Smash with him attacking Mario in the moon like a awesome cool ninja. Oh, this is, if you can't tell, this one has me hyped. Even just now watching this is like, okay, Greninja, this is my guy. I almost forgotten that this was how this went. But yeah, S tier. I'm sorry. It gets me hyped. It gets me wanting to play the game. Even though I don't want to go back to this version of Smash Brothers for a very long time, but that's fine because we got a much better version coming up. Next up, though, we've got anime, it looks like. So we've got, of course, does the Smash intro thing here as it does in all these trailers. And we see Lady Palutena in anime form
From Hyrule is quite impressive indeed.
giving her guidance that she gives on her stage, because you can actually, one of Pit's taunts on this stage, and I think the other Kid Icarus characters can do this too. And this is after Kid Icarus Uprising came out, but if you do, I think it's their down taunt, like it may take you a couple tries to do it on the Kid Icarus Uprising stage, which I can't remember the name of. Every once in a while you'd get this Rosalina's guidance where Rosalina would actually tell you about the character you're actually fighting. Unfortunately, and this was not the only time to do this, because Snake who did not return for this game because of copyright problems. Snake in Brawl, if you did the down on this, he could have a codex call tell you about whatever character you're fighting. And here, that's what you're seeing here is Rosalina giving this her guidance for Pit fighting Link, it looks like. And this is all done in anime form, which is different. And it's probably a little easier for them to do because they could probably outsource this to somebody to make. But still, this is kind of cool to watch. And Kid Icarus Uprising did have, which this is more based on, did have this kind of art style to it, even though it was more in 3D. So you got this fight going on between Pit and Link. Pit jumps over and gets knocked down. Pit's gonna need some help. And as Link throws the Gale boomerang, something stops it. And we see Lady Palutena has joined the fight.
Lady Palutena? Oh, I'm not here to save you, Pit.
I love that. I'm not here to save you, Pit. And she does her thing, and it makes his wings on, because she's powers his angel powers, and the wings just throw him off the stage. It's like, okay, that's funny. Of course, her title card is Palutena Alights. I will say that. But this is another one of those odd characters. It's like, oh, this is kind of fun. She's probably going to be OP because she's a goddess. But all right, we'll see how this goes.
I'm here for a little, divine intervention.
And it's now Lady Palutena versus Link.
You want to fight too, Lady Palutena?
And
I'm no stranger to fighting.
and Palutena and Pit are talking throughout this whole thing as they're showing off these different moves.
Chaos King had you under mind control.
Well, anything an angel can do, a goddess can do better. Perhaps you'd like to see some of the powers I once used to protect you. Heavenly light, explosive flame, roar, rocket jump, reflect, auto reticle, jump glide, counter, super speed, angelic missile.
I kind of don't want to talk because she's talking throughout this whole thing.
Lightweight. Black hole. Mega laser.
You don't have to prove anything to me, Lady Palutena.
And does end with Pit bowing before Lady Palutena.
Angels only talk big. Many worthy foes have gathered here. And I won't hold back on anyone.
So that's granted. I don't care. Oh wait, I forgot. We got this little end here. We go back to the anime, and she's kind of posing in front of the screen as she says, "We see
Dark Pit.
Dark Pit."
You just dropped in to crash my party?
Which technically we introduce him to, even though he doesn't get a title screen. So it's like, okay, Dark Pit's here too. I don't know. This is kind of fun. It does kind of hype me, but at the same time, this is not a character I care about. But it does do better than some of the stuff we've got in B tier. So I will go ahead and give it A tier. So, a little bit of gaming history on this next one. So we've got, well, as the things that we see, Mario running across. It zooms in on his hat, and the color red forms a stripe on the screen. We see Sonic running across, and Mega Man, and we get a stripe of blue, and then a stripe of yellow appears in between. And it fills the screen. The screen zooms out. We see it's a circle, and it opens. It's Pac-Man. Pac-Man hungers for battle. I don't know. This kind of was an awesome idea for me until they showed it was the 3D version of Pac-Man. It's like, I don't know if I care anymore. But great, he's got a lot of cool, like, Namco Bandai, like, stuff in it. So I was like, okay, we got another bit of gaming history here. That's kind of cool. I was more excited for some of the other stuff in here, especially like Pac-Man Stage, I think it'll show here, which was the Pac-Maze from the, but unfortunately that's only his 3DS stage, and it only appears in the 3DS version. The Wii U stage was from Super Pac-Man, and it's weird. I don't get it. But yeah, Pac-Man, that's a fun idea. The trailer doesn't really do anything for me, unfortunately, except you got Pac-Man here standing next to Mr. Game & Watch. They show that they're both came out in 1980. They're the oldest characters in the game because Mario and Donkey Kong are 1981. So yeah, we've got it's gaming history technically. I'm gonna give it, as much as I love Pac-Man, I am going to give it C tier, just because it doesn't hype me. Unfortunately, you got Pac-Man, that's cool, but the trailer itself doesn't do much for me. I remember it was exciting at the time, but it is what it is. But this next one was different. So we've got, I should point out, this is Reggie Fils-Aimé, who at the time was the head of Nintendo of America. He's looking at the screen. And we got Satoru Iwata, rest in peace, also the head of Nintendo, period. the head honcho in Japan. And they're facing off against each other, and they are now attacking each other, which is interesting. And they are fighting each other like they are fighting characters in a game. That's like, okay, this is cool, but where are we going with this? And they're doing all these fights, and you see Sakurai do the direct symbol, and they come closer to each other. They get ready to fight again, and they just do a bunch of punch outs towards each other. And you know that this is all CG stuff, but it's cool, it's fun. This is not, they are kind of doing this, but they're also not. And they're getting to look cool, and they do kind of the head, and I was like, yeah, this is good. And then we see Iwata holding the Wii U gamepad, and Reggie has the and they have Mii's. This is the Mii Fighter trailer. And I remember thinking, okay, this is kind of a cool way to show this, because we've got actually Mii's of Reggie and Satoru Iwata fighting each other. Okay, that's kind of a cool idea in Smash Brothers. And fighting on the Kid Icarus stage. And they're, going back and forth now here instead of in real life. Iwata gets knocked off the screen by Reggie. And Iwata pulls out a Mario amiibo, because this actually is the introduction of amiibos too. He sets it on the gamepad, and Mario shows up with a Final Smash ready to go, which blows Reggie out of the water. And he attacks him a lot. And then Reggie gets knocked out. Literally, actually gets knocked out even of the trailer. And Iwata shows back up. The Iwata meme shows back up, and they're kind of getting ready for that. That's the end of the trailer. That was kind of a cool way to show that. I mean, granted, the Mii's I don't care about, but it's a super cool way to show the Mii fighters as a playable character, plus showing off the amiibos for the first time. And this is something I miss from Nintendo, where you had Reggie Fils-Aimé and Satoru Iwata, two businessmen, two very two businessmen from this company, and they're willing to do this little knockout drag out thing. It's fake, of course, it's all CG, but it's like they were willing to do this as not just to show off the game, but it's also as a form of entertainment for the people watching this, because people had been asking, "Oh, hey, Reggie, when are you going to be in the game?" And they were as people were joking about it, and Reggie didn't say nothing. He just said, just wait." And they show this, it's like, okay, this is a cool way to show off the Mii's and the amiibo fighters, admittedly, but we don't get this anymore. At this time, Iwata, and part of the reason that everyone loved Satoru Iwata, rest in peace, is that he was willing to be there for the customers. He was willing to do stuff like this. He was the face of the company. He can't beat Mario, admittedly, but he was willing to look ridiculous to promote his products. And I think we as gamers loved him for that. Reggie was the same way. And I loved that about these characters. This is just a small portion of it. There's stuff they did all throughout their tenures during the Wii and the Wii U, but and I would have loved to have seen Iwata be able to go on with the Switch, but he got sick, unfortunately, and passed away like right before the Switch came out. But and there's so much of what you can see Iwata's thinking in the Switch itself, and you don't see this anymore. I mean, guys, the head of Nintendo of America right now, his last name is Bowser. Bowser has taken over the Mushroom Kingdom. He just had to do it through Nintendo to do it. And they do nothing with this. Doug Bowser has not been in any direct since they first introduced him. When they were first showing off, he at least had like dolls of Mario and Luigi like tied up because, Bowser. They were at least doing cool stuff like that, and there was this whole thing when they introduced, like, oh yeah, this is the new head of Nintendo of America, Bowser, and a 3D Bowser from the game comes out. He goes, no, not you, this guy. And we've had nothing since then. All we get is, we are Japanese businessmen, and we think you will like our products. And it's like, I have nothing against that. I understand that I have nothing against the Japanese. I appreciate the idea that this is a new business. This is a new company. They're going to run things differently than Iwata did. But at the same time, I miss like the fun of the directs. The directs were a show in and of themselves. Nowadays, you turn into a Nintendo Direct, and no matter what ad they give you, no matter what they're showing off, what games they're announcing, or anything like that, it's the same thing. Hi, I'm a guy from Nintendo Japan. Let's look at some headlines. And they show off a bunch of headlines while someone goes, here's the new game from this. And this game was Fire Emblem blah blah. And da-da-da-da. And then about halfway through, it's like, wow, wasn't that cool? Next, why don't you check out this thing? And they show off a big deep dive into a game. It's like, okay, that's cool. Let's get back to some more headlines. And they do that. It's like, and you get to the end, it's like, this is going to be our last trailer. Boom, done. It's like, okay, this is cool and all. You're showing off some cool things. But the direct itself is boring. You're bring the fun Nintendo back. The company, not the games. The games are great. The system's great. D-Lit agrees with me. Bring the Nintendo that had fun talking to us and showing things off. Bring that back, Nintendo, please. That is what I miss. Anyway, getting off my soapbox. I don't even know what this next one is because I kind of got distracted. I think I know which one this is. Oh, yeah, and like I said, I gave that one a... I didn't say which one, what I did that one. Yeah, I didn't rank this one. I need to, and I'm going to tell you, I know exactly where it's going too. It is going to be A rank because this is awesome to see them doing this. It's not S tier because, oh, it's Mies. But I mean, it is A rank through and through. Okay, so next we've got, I believe this is a Fire Emblem one, if I'm remembering correctly. Because while I went and got all these trailers and I kind of remember who they all were, I didn't rewatch them because I wanted my viewing for this to be fresh. But I think this one, which is called by Book Blade and Crest of Flame, I believe this one is Fire Emblem Awakening, which was the first really successful Fire Emblem game here in the West. So we've got Lucina from Awakening, just getting hit back while Chrom is back there. Lucina wakes her blade and standing in front of Captain Falcon. Chrom is knocked out.
Oh my fuck.
He does a Falcon punch. And yeah, Captain Falcon's pretty much kicking Lucina's butt right here. Before he gets the punch out, 3 little strikes hit the ground, and we see that Lucina's not alone. Somebody with a book and a lightning sword is here.
It's going to be all right.
And it's male Robin.
Time to tip the scale.
Robin brings the thunder.
Robin!
And
Smash has many powerful foes, Lucina. But
Now-
I'm no ordinary swordsman.
Robin was the player character for Fire Emblem Awakening. I can tell you that, and he's got, and unlike all of them, or most of the modern ones do. There's 2 forms of male version and a female, and I'll tell you, they're both in this game. But they're also a mage, which is interesting.
El Thunder, Arc Thunder,
Not just a swordsman.
Thoron, Arcfire, Elwind, Nosferatu.
Wow. You have so many tomes.
I can only use them so many times, which is why I carry my Levin sword.
So yeah, apparently.
There's no time for me to rest. I'll fight at your side.
We get the Fire Emblem music in the background as they're fighting all the different characters. Poor Chrom is left out.
Hero King himself?
And Marth, of course, from the other ones.
Radiant hero of legend.
And Ike.
Worthy opponent.
So this is also just a Fire Emblem celebratory trailer, too. Which is kind of a cool idea. We see Chrom, like, near dead on the arena floor.
Suppose I'll get my chance another day.
And you're not wrong, Chrom. You're not wrong. It does say no, you'll get it today, because Chrom is actually a part of Lucina's Final Smash.
Time to tip the scales.
And yeah, you can play as female Robin too.
Arc Thunder!
I wish they'd have
Thoron!
put that in more of the trailer itself, but I kind of also know why they didn't. It's an okay trailer. I'm not a big Fire Emblem guy, even though I did play this one and I did enjoy it. But yeah, I'll give it a B tier, just because it's good, not great, but it's good. And next we have another one that I know very little about. Also interesting, by this point, we had moved forward enough that the game had been rated by the ESRB. So while every other single one of these was saying this game is not yet rated, this one, Super Smash Bros. For both these consoles, is rated E10 for ages 10 and up. And I'll admit, I have never played these games. Or I played very little of them. So we've got Bowser running onto the stage, growling, and sees a butterfly and gets distracted by the butterfly. Only for a guy with a really crazy sword, like you do, to attack him like he's the monster he is. And knocks him off the stage. So we've got Shulk. before CZ fight. Now, I want to point something out here for those who don't know. This game almost didn't get released stateside. I don't mean Smash Brothers. I mean the game this guy's from, Xenoblade Chronicles. Nintendo of America originally had no reason to release this. The only reason they did is because the fans kind of forced their hand, and it just so happened that Nintendo of Europe did release it, and so they already had an English dub, so they didn't have to do anything for it. As long as we were all fine with all the characters sounding British, which, let's face it, that kind of works for a JRPG. And that will color all the other all the other Xenoblade Chronicles characters that show up in this, that going forward. But I'll admit, I saw this guy, no idea who he is. And apparently, he can see the future. Or he gets flashes of the future, I should say, from my understanding. But still, this is a character that only got over here because fans wanted it. We're going to get that with a couple other games. And so he's able to dodge the attack instead of getting hit by it that he foresaw. Which I don't know how you work that into a fighting game mechanic. It's Shulk time. And we see his sword, the Monado, change a bunch of different go to different forms, so it can, because that's his thing, is he can actually take different forms to attack characters differently. And I think in this one, the Smash form is exclusive to Smash Brothers, if I'm not mistaken. Like I said, I've not actually played this game, and at the time, I had no idea. It was just like, oh, this looks cool, but I don't know what it is. And, you know, showing off the different parts of the stage, different costumes. His final smash where he's just knocking people around. It's cool. It is cool. I will admit that. It is very cool. And we see a stage hazard show up, which is, I think, Metal Face is the name of the character. And that character will attack you on the stage, which, okay, that's kind of cool. Once again, it's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's just, I don't know who the character is. I don't know how many people in America at the time knew who he was. I could be wrong, but I mean, it does a good job of doing what it's trying to do. It's just, I almost have no opinion. So, giving it B. And I'm not sure what this next one is. Oh yeah, I do remember what this one is. I remember thinking, because, you know, at the beginning, it looks like the same battlefield that they fought Mega Man, and thinking, are we getting another Mega Man character? And no, it's Bowser Jr. in a clown car, or clown copter. And you can kind of tell that from like the castle music in the background. The Bowser Castle music in the background. At first I thought maybe they're giving Bowser a different thing, but no, it's actually Bowser Jr. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool. I remember seeing all these different things, like, okay, this actually could be fun to play as. He's Bowser Jr. It's like, it's not like he's kind of a joke character, but at the same time, this is he looks formidable in this. Bowser Jr. clowns the competition. I remember thinking, okay, yeah, it's Bowser Jr. He's not my favorite one of the Koopa kids, but he's okay. It makes sense why he'd use him, and putting him in a clown cart that does give him like some more versatility than I think we had seen him in before. And yeah, that's kind of cool and all. And okay, his final smash is Shadow Mario from Super Mario Sunshine. And we think Mario get knocked on the ground as we go back to the CG stuff, and we see that Bowser Jr. is not alone because the rest of the Koopalings are here too in their own clown cars. Which, it's like, okay, this is awesome now. I was like, I remember looking at this going, okay, I guess I'm going to have to play with Ludwig at some point because I always, for some reason, I like Ludwig more than I like the other Koopalings as a character, but this is kind of cool. Let's face it. This is cool. So, yeah. Bowser Jr. and the Koopalings is going to get A tier. Because it's like, okay, I wasn't expecting this. I shouldn't like this, but they kind of made me like this. So, yeah. I can already tell you this next one is very short.
Time for a special announcement.
This was part of a direct. They had part of the Smash Brothers direct, I think, and they were showing. You know, we got another little surprise here, and yeah, they're bringing Mewtwo back for this one. Mewtwo is on the way,
Mewtwo has joined the battle as a new fighter.
but they had nothing really to show yet.
This special bonus fighter will be available to those of you who purchased both the Nintendo 3DS
It was the first DLC of Smash Brothers history.
free download.
It was free, but still technically DLC. You had to buy both versions.
It takes a lot of work even to complete one fighter. This completion date is scheduled for spring of 2015.
Oh my word, that was 10 years ago! Once again, I'm feeling old.
Smash Brothers for Wii U will be released in North America on November 21st.
Of 2014. Good night. That was 10 years ago, guys. I'm feeling old. And here's the thing. I will go ahead and tell you, this is not getting high up there not because it makes me feel old, even though it does. But it's getting low on this because for the simple reason that there's nothing to see here. So yeah, D rank for Mewtwo is on the way. But this next one, I think I may have been a little more excited for because of history. It's Duck Hunt! Oh man, I was super excited when I saw this because, like, okay, yeah, I hate this dog. This is a goofy idea. But also at the same time, this is my kind of goofy idea. So we see them playing Duck Hunt from the NES. I was like, okay, so we got Duck Hunt. We saw the Smash Bros. Thing, so we know. And it's like, zooms, it's like, the dog looks like, he's like pointing at himself. Looks back. Mario in 8-bit form comes on, with Link. Pit, Donkey Kong, Samus, and Bowser in their old 8-bit forms. Mario kind of just does it. Come on. And they jump into 3D. All the characters go 3D. And then the dog pops up out of the thing. And I think, okay, it's the Duck Hunt dog. And then, no, the duck is there too. Duck Hunt, takes aim. I'm going, okay, no, I know what I said earlier. This is my main for this game. And I will say, I actually went with this. This was my main for this game for a long time. Because it's like, this is goofy, this is stupid. And you got the characters from Wild Gunman, not that many people know who they are. But it's like, this is goofy and fun. This is my kind of fun. Oh, man. And I remember at this point when I was originally watching, it's like, okay, this is cool. And then it does this, where they pull out the NES app and go, it's not a duo, it's a trio, because the guy shooting is helping you fight. That's cool. You actually get to shoot other characters. That's awesome. I know that sounds weird. And they're showing off all these other things with the kind of characters. Like, okay, this is cool. This is cool, yeah. And you can see part of the final Smash at the end, even though we didn't know that's what it was at the time. It's like, okay. Duck Hunt. I always hated the dog when I played that game back in the day. But I remember going, I have to play this now. I have to play this because this is awesome. So yeah, Duck Hunt is definitely going S tier. Yeah, definitely going S tier because it's like, okay, this is stupid. This is goofy. I love it. Bobo in chat says, first game of Smash I ever won was with the Duck Hunt dog. That upset me because I didn't care if I lost with that bleeping dog, but somehow I won? I get it. This was also the last trailer they did before the Smash cinematic. Now, the one I have is specifically the one for Wii U. I could not find one for 3DS. I'm kind of hoping they are the same. I'll be honest. And yeah, this one's an IGN. So yeah, and this is literally just taking scenes from the scenes we've already watched, which is cool and all, and yet we get to see some fighting. And grant, this is all done in the Wii U style, so we don't get any of the sketch effects like we probably would see on the 3DS one. But I don't know, this is serviceable. That's the thing you have to say about this. This is serviceable. It's not bad, but it's also not great. It's not really hyping me for the game. It's just showing the game off. If this were in an arcade, it would not get me to stop at this other than saying, oh, look at all these cool characters that are in this. But this is not doing anything to make me want to play the game. Yeah, it's showing off some other things that were in the game, like the new Final Smashes here and there. But all the cinematics were from the previous trailers. It works, but it's also just, it's about all it does is work. It does not hype me for the game outside of what it would have done before when I watched the trailers, but it's just there. It's okay. It's, like I said, it's serviceable. I'm giving it I'm giving it a click the wrong button. I'm not really sure where I want to put it because it's not great. It's not A tier. I'm thinking this one actually is going to go B tier. Honestly. I'm not trying to knock it but it's just serviceable. It's the middle of the road. And so that's kind of why I have to give it what I'm giving it. Hang on. I'm trying to see what the thing looks like here. Okay. That one. So yeah, B tier for this one. So this was, of course, we got our first DLC character, which was Mewtwo, which according to that you got if you got both the 3DS and the Wii U version. So at least they did give him his own trailer. Mewtwo Strikes Back comes from the name of his first Pokemon movie, Mewtwo Strikes Back, and we see him doing some fighting. Nothing too crazy. It's just cool that he's here, but I mean, they did not do any cinematics to show him off. They're kind of showing him doing different things against different fighters, which is kind of cool, but it's just a gameplay trailer, and it is doing some fun things. It's just not like crazy. There's nothing here that makes me go, okay, that's awesome. It's not really hyping me, other than we do see that his Mega Mewtwo Y is his final smash, which does look like Frieza, and Pikachu's backing up to him because he's about to wallop him, I guess. I mean, it works. It's not horrible. Like I said, it works. It's better than what we had before. I will give it C tier because, hey, like I said, it works. It's just not great. It doesn't really hype me. Does what Pac-Man did. So now we get Lucas. This character is from a game that has still not been released officially in the United States. You can only play it now with extra legal methods. And it's playing sad music like it's like, we know you Americans can't play this game. It's like, okay. We get PK fires. Oh, knocks Bowser off the thing. It's like, okay, so Lucas is back. For some reason, he showed up in Brawl. For some reason, he wasn't in the base game for Smash. He goes, Lucas comes out of nowhere. It's like, okay. If I played the game, it might make some more sense there, Nintendo. But you didn't exactly make it where I could play it, did ya? Of course, I didn't play much Earthbound either, so maybe I'm part of the problem. But I mean, it's not bad. This is the first one we actually see the boss of the arcade mode in Smash. Not arcade mode, that's not what they call it. Classic mode. And it's not bad. It's all done in Machinima, which is okay, but it's not hyping me to play this character. It's not hyping me to go out and buy this DLC. I'm sorry. I know there's a lot of Mother 3 fans out there, but C tier, if for no other reason than the game does not hype me to play it. The trailer doesn't hype me to play Lucas, and part of the issue is I can't play Lucas outside of Smash Brothers. Every other character in this I can play outside of this game, but Lucas, I can only play him in Smash Brothers because Nintendo won't release the game over here. So, this is another fan favorite they got back from Fire Emblem. He was in Smash Brothers Melee, so he is a returning fighter. We got, of course, all the Fire Emblem characters. They're fighting, and it's like, don't forget about me. It's like, okay, we got Roy. I've returned at last. Roy seals the deal. It's like, okay, cool. It's nice to bring him back. And now he's fighting the other Roy from the Bowser Jr. From the Koopalings. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool. It's cool to see him in here. Don't get me wrong. But this feels like what this feels like to me anyway is like we are taking care of things that should have been in the base game, but we didn't have time to do it. It falls into that category again because Roy, he was a well-liked character. Sure, Ike probably does this, pretty much the same thing he does, but people liked Roy, and he's one of the originals. He was in Melee, so it's one of the first Fire Emblem characters in Smash, so it's kind of cool to see him here again. For those I must protect, I cannot lose. And yeah, he's talking in Japanese because that's how he always talked. That's how all the Fire Emblem characters talked at the time. Well, all the original Fire Emblem characters. Starting with the Awakening characters, they had English voice actors. So, I'm giving this one C tier also because, like I said, it's not hyping me to play it. And I think part of that might be because it was first party character. It's like, okay, this was kind of coming. This is an old guy. I should be happy, but this isn't really getting me to go play the game. And then this one happens. So we get the little Smash opening. And we just get Ryu on screen like at the beginning of the Super Street Fighter 2 with him doing that bouncing as he's getting ready to fight the Smash characters. He says, "I am ready for a challenge." And he does the Hadouken towards the screen. Super Smash Brothers cross Street Fighter. Sure you can. Here comes the new challenger, Ryu.
So this is Smash.
And he's got English voice acting, which is nice. So it's like, okay, we did get at least a little bit of fun in that beginning. It's a still mostly gameplay trailer, but that's fine. That's really what this is supposed to be for. And it's cool to see him fight. We get to see his Kirby's form of Ryu. And this does make me hyped because it's like, okay, it's actually a real fighting game. And oh look, we've got Ryu's stage from Street Fighter in here. That's awesome. It's a little different, but you know, the final Final Destination form is going to look exactly like the original. We get to see his final smash, which is Shoryuken. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's kind of awesome. That gets me excited. We see Ryu, and we see a Mii fighter dressed as Heihachi come out, and they fight. So it's like, okay, we get a little bit of cross fighting there between companies. That's kind of cool. Ryu is definitely getting, he's definitely getting A tier because it's like, okay, that's cool. You get third party. That's fun. That's awesome. Guys, the next one. I cried when I first watched it. I swear to you. I already know where this is going, and it's been so long since I've seen it. So we get opening and just those notes before you see anything. I'm already going, it's Cloud! Because you just get those couple of notes from the MIDI, from the MIDI version of Final Fantasy VII. And that's before you even get this Starfield, which is from the opening of the original game. It's like, okay, this is already cool. I'm already hyped. This is already S tier. I'm sorry, it is. We get the Smash Brothers logo come down, cross, and they're just building this up to where it hits right. Final Fantasy VII. I'm here. You've sold me already, game. You don't have to do much else, but oh, we get Cloud walking out in his Advent Children costume. No, I'm sorry. This isn't the Advent Children costume. This is the original 7 costume, but it looks good. He has got Japanese voice acting, but he's in Midgar. He's in freaking Midgar. There's a Midgar stage in this. This is awesome. I had to back up because he had text. Never thought I'd see the day. Cloud storms into battle. Okay, you got a bit of a name, but who cares? And it does the little battle intro thing from 7 where it zooms in with the white, and then it, and then the battle thing kind of, the letterboxes dissipate as you get into the battle. It's like, okay, we're playing Final Fantasy VII, cool stuff here. All right, he had more dialogue there. Sorry. Bring it on. And we see him fighting in the different arenas against the different characters, which is cool. Because that's what you expect in these things. But you get so much little things. Okay, back up. Hang on. Get there. Almost there. Okay, stop. You've got... They're in one of the Pokemon Coliseums, I think from the Kalos region, if I'm not mistaken. Cloud, it looks very church-like. Cloud is knocked out. You've got the Twilight Princess version of Zelda, which kind of looks like Aerith, holding the little flower wand thing, and there's 3 Pikmin behind her, facing the other way because they're probably facing Olimar, who's just off screen. It's like, you're recreating a scene from the game. That's so cool. Sorry. We see him fighting Pac-Man, fighting Shulk, different Japanese characters, Little Mac. And then he does have the Advent Children attire also. And with that version of the sword, we see him fighting different characters. He gets sick. He gets seasick. He steals Wario's motorcycle because he likes his motorcycles. Fighting Ryu, fighting Greninja, fighting Captain Falcon. You can kind of see these characters showing up. And it's got kind of that it's all Final Fantasy. And then he does his limit breaks. His limits are meant to be broken. And he does Omni Slash. And we show off the Midgar stage. We see that summons. We see Odin splitting the stage. Leviathan, Ramu, Ifrit, Leviathan, or said that one. And Bahamut taking out, doing his big mega laser, mega flare, destroying the stage. Yet everyone survives. And we see Cloud versus, and he does Omni Slash and smacks him 7 ways to Sunday. I guess I kind of is the closest at this point we have to Sephiroth. And we get the victory fanfare over the Super Smash Brothers logo. Smells like Chocobo. He's on Gar Plains, and there's a bunch of Miis with a bunch of wearing Chocobo hats, with one of them being obviously gigantic because he's Fat Chocobo. It's cool. I don't know. I loved Final Fantasy VII. It's one of my favorite games of all time. And I like Final Fantasy in general. So, and even this little thing is like, it's stupid, but still, bunch of little Chocobo and Fat Chocobo. And you can only find Fat Chocobo in forests that smell like Chocobo. That's why he says smells like Chocobo. That's not a Final Fantasy VII thing. I think that's Final Fantasy II. I could be wrong on that, but it's like, okay, you are actually playing to your audience. All the victory fanfare plays in the background. And this, I love that little bit. Let me explain. I had been watching by this time, watching the copyright grow. So you got, of course, at the beginning, you got characters, Nintendo, HAL Laboratories. So you get Nintendo, has like most of them. HAL Laboratories is your Kirby. Pokemon is Pokemon. Creatures Inc., Pokemon. Game Freak, Pokemon. Shigesato Itoi, that's the Earthbound characters. Ape Incorporated, also Earthbound. Intelligent Systems, that's Fire Emblem. Sega, you got your Sonic so far in this. Capcom is Mega Man. Bandai Namco, Pac-Man, and a couple others. Monolith Soft is the Xenoblade characters. You've got Capcom USA listed so far separate from Capcom Company Limited, which is weird. And then the little Square Enix thing is like, we got him. It's like, just a nice little point. It's like, we got him, guys. Have fun with only 2 songs from Final Fantasy VII in the game. That still annoys me how much Square Enix is worse than Nintendo about some of this stuff. So yeah, Cloud, S tier. I'm sorry. He's awesome that he's here. I love it. And as you can probably tell because of how excited I am. But this is not the last one for this. We got 2 more. So we've got another Fire Emblem. And I did not play this one.
This way.
Big brother?
And what's interesting is this starts off like the trailers I remember for the game. And the basic concept from my understanding of this is the player character was kidnapped by by this other faction, but he's actually from like the white and red faction that we just saw. He's actually from that one, but he was raised by this faction, so they're technically the brothers of both, and you have to pick which side you're going in, and you did it by which game you got, and that's what we're seeing here. Is him trying to make that decision again. Like, which family do you choose? And technically they're both good guys, because there's actually a different villain.
So sorry, everyone. I feel like I have no choice but to...
Yeah, you get to choose. You can defend Hoshido, which is the good guys, fight with Nor, which is the bad guys, or refuse to choose a side. Or join the battle and smash. Like, what? Corrin chooses to smash. Once again, this is one of those characters that can either be a guy or a girl in the game, and they give you that choice.
Sorry, big brother. I've made my decision.
But for this, they are mostly showing the male avatar, because that's generally who the default is. And like I said, I didn't play this one, so I know nothing about it other than this guy is barefoot, you'll notice. And that's because he turns into a dragon?
Yato Blade is taking on a form I've never seen.
And he's got a chainsaw blade, apparently?
He's using Dragon Fang, the power of the first dragon.
Wow, he's really mastered it, hasn't he?
I mean, it's cool and all, but
Are those warriors of the Outrealms?
yeah, you get more celebrating Fire Emblem. It's not bad. It's just I can't care because I don't
Leave some for me.
care about this character. Yeah, and we see the female form now.
He's now big sister. Wow, even better.
it's not bad. I just don't care. I know that sounds horrible, but I just...
My path is to take on the legendary heroes of Smash.
It's cool and all, but I don't care. Because I don't know who these people are. And it's not what I'm here for. I'm sorry. It's like, I get that this is for some people. It's just kind of not for me. I don't even get this last reference of Pac-Man chasing her and then her pushing a box back towards him and him running away. I don't even get that reference. I'm sorry, Corrin fans. It's C tier. Because it does its job, admittedly, but I don't care. I'm sorry. Okay, so we got one last one before we hit all the new fun. So we got Pit fighting a couple different characters.
Two down.
Don't get careless, Pit.
Of course, he's an angel.
Challenger approaches.
And the challenger's approaching, and it's the Slayer of Angels.
Oh, another angel. Must have missed one.
I have not played Bayonetta, but this is still to me a weird choice that they included her. Bayonetta Gets Wicked as her title card. It's not bad. I'm saying this a lot, but it's like,
Who is that, Lady Palutena?
these are the characters I don't know, and so I don't care about them.
Extinct.
I have played some of Bayonetta just to try it out, but it just didn't hold me. So I'm sure there's a lot of references here that are cool and all, but I don't know them.
I like it when you play hard to get.
And it's just kind of weird for all this sexy character voicing to go on in this.
Her wicked weaves attack summon the limbs of demons.
I like how they're doing a Palutena's guidance on this because Pit's here, but I think she didn't have a Palutena's guidance because any of the DLC for this game, the Palutena's guidance was like, I don't know anything about this guy. You'll just have to do your best and keep your wits about you, Pit, or whatever.
If you need to learn how to talk to a lady, ask your mum.
Oh yeah, technically that first one I think was the one from 2, the Bayonetta from Bayonetta 2. This is the Bayonetta from Bayonetta 1. And yet she did fight angels. That was her thing because she was a witch. And her stage is based on the opening of the first game, if I remember correctly. But this is...
Don't be such a wimp.
It makes sense that Dark Pit would fight her because they'd probably get along. I don't know.
Time for the best part. Smashing.
That's Gamora. She can also summon huge demons.
And I'm like, okay, this is cool, but it's like I said, this is characters I don't care about because it's just not my thing. So yeah, I'm just gonna say it right now. This is also D tier or C tier because, like I said, this probably works for people who know who the character is and like the games. So it's cool to see them in there. And my understanding is this character was severely broken in the meta, but for me, I don't know who the character is. I know who the character is, but I barely played any of the games. I don't care. So unfortunately for me, it doesn't do anything. That's why it's getting on C tier. And ultimately, this is Drew's ranking of these. Before we get into Ultimate, I do have to at least pay some bills. So let's go ahead and do that right quick.
This podcast is a proud member of Culture Box. Whether you enjoy geeky reviews, comedy, or original fiction, you can open up the Culture Box and find something excellent for your soul. Point your web browser to culturebox.media.
This week, we suggest checking out a Retro Rewind podcast. Every week, join the Retro Rewind pod as they travel back 15 or more years along the entertainment space-time continuum in their mission to review movies and games, establishing what is still worth your time today. You can expect fun banter and trivial insights from Francisco, Paul, and a rotating cadre of guest hosts who are all out of time. I chose Retro for this for 2 reasons. One, I am going over Super Smash Bros. Characters, which a lot of these are retro fun characters, and there's a lot of nostalgia in it. But the second reason is there were 2 Roys. The Cellcast would also like to thank the following patrons. Roy, Ashley and Francisco Ruiz, PaulJParis.com, and the Monster Island Film Vault. If you would like to have your name shouted out on the show, some special art from Jacob, uncut episodes, or for an additional $5, you can make us review something of your choosing within reason. You can do all that over at patreon.com, or give us a shout if you would prefer to do it in a different way. Besides that, go check out our Redbubble store. We got t-shirts over there. Check out Untangling Kingdom Hearts. I will be putting out some more episodes soon. But yeah. Oh, and check out Jacob every once in a while when he does his art streams over on his Twitch channel at Like an Artist. So go do that. And I meant to do the other thing. But lastly, I didn't put this in here, but I do want to give an extra special thanks on this episode to the Super Smash Cast, because I've been listening to their podcast a lot recently and kind of got me into the Super Smash Brothers mood. And basically what they're doing over there is reviewing different Smash Brothers, reviewing all the games that the Smash Brothers characters come from in their character order that we see here in Ultimate. Or actually, no, it's really more chronological order, which just sometimes matches up. I'm saying that knowing, like, I am actually going to be on an episode coming up soon to talk about the first Dragon Quest game, and that character is technically way at the end. And we're doing it like now. So, yeah, I want to thank Ryan Ashley Wall. I did do their logo for those who are curious, but I want to thank him and his co-host. I'm sorry I've forgotten your name, but yeah, go check out that podcast. Finally, we get to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Not that we knew it from the start of this trailer. So we get the Switch logo now. Rating pending. And this looks like I think we had just seen like the Splatoon 2 trailer earlier in this direct that this was in. And now we get this recreation of the Splatoon 1 trailer. Which is kind of cool, but it's like, are we getting like Splatoon 1 HD? It's kind of the feel when this was coming out. It's like, okay, this could be kind of cool. Don't know why you couldn't do that as part of Splatoon 2, but whatever. And then we see the Inklings battling each other. And as they get away, everything goes to black and the music fades out, and the Inkling girl is in the dark, looking to see and sees a light. She faces and she gasps in awe as we see reflected in her pupil the Smash Brothers logo. And we see this giant flaming Smash Brothers logo. We see Mario in silhouette. We see what's obviously Breath of the Wild Link, while we hear a haunting melody in the background. And it fades to white. We just get Super Smash Brothers. And that's all we get. 2018. That's all we get. We don't know anything about it. We just know there's a Super Smash Brothers game coming. It just so happens that not long after that, they did do a Smash Brothers direct where they actually showed it off, and they were showing different things. Oh, I should rate this one first. I'm actually going to give this an A because it being based on that original Smash 1 trailer, it looks very good. It's obviously not the same. There are some slight differences, which is how you know they re-rendered it. But it does very little. It's just a teaser. Say Smash Brothers is coming, and we've already introduced you our first new character, and that's the Inklings. So yeah, I'm giving that an A tier just because I like the Inklings, and I do like this intro. But this next one, not long after this, they did a Smash Brothers direct because we knew it was coming now, and they wanted to just get out in front of everything, tell you what's going on. And the reason is they had to show this next trailer, and all the introduction we really got for this was, here is every character on the roster. So we get Nintendo Switch. Oh, and I'll get to that in a minute. So we see Battlefield. It's the same Battlefield from before. It's a new Battlefield. We see Mario. We see he's got a number 1. It makes sense. He's the first character. Mario, Samus, number 4. Kirby at number 6. Obviously, these numbers are the orders they were introduced. Bowser, 14. Link is number 3. Donkey Kong, number 2. And all of these are just like showing the character off on an island, on a stage that relates to them, or at least is a type of environment you'd expect to see the character. Fox and Falco, 7 and 20. We see Marth at 21. Zelda, 17. This is a different Zelda than the ones we have had before. The first one we had in Melee was Ocarina of Time. This one is, and then for Brawl and Smash 4 we had Twilight Princess Zelda, and now we have a Zelda from one of the from the 3DS game, A Link Between Worlds, I believe, and that's who this Zelda is. So she's not the Zelda from A Link to the Past; it's the sequel to that. But we've got her here, along with a new version of Sheik, Villager, number 45, Mewtwo, 24, Meta Knight, 27. Amazing when you consider these are 2 separate games these characters were introduced in. Sonic, 38. He goes Supersonic. Peach, 13. Pikachu, 8. It's like, okay, these are all the characters showing up here. Cool. Ice Climbers, yay, we were happy to see them back because they had been axed from the last one because of the technical limitations. So yeah, they're back. They're number 15. It's like, okay, this is kind of cool and all. You got Inkling, 64, obviously the newest character. We knew they were coming, so we went and showed them off. Captain Falcon, number 11. Zero Suit Samus, 29. Wii Fit Trainer, 47. Squirtle, 33. Ivysaur, 34. Charizard, 35. We've got Pokemon Trainer back. Once again, fully axed, but they're back. It's like, okay, this is getting good. I see what we're doing. We're bringing everything back together. Ness at 10. Lucas at 37. Okay. Ryu, 60. Ganondorf, 23. In an Ocarina of Time look like that's actually closer to how he appeared originally than the actual original Ganondorf in Melee, because that was kind of just an original version of him for Melee. We got Ike at 32. Like, how many more we got? Cloud, 61. Okay. We still don't even know what the numbers meant yet. And then they knew what they were doing. Snake, 31. The phrase, everyone is here. Guys, you don't know how hype I was when this happened. It's like, because we knew Snake couldn't come back. He had been ousted for copyright reasons because Konami was a bunch of jerks, and they were having issues with Kojima, and it was Kojima who wanted him here in the first place, and they got Snake back, and they knew how that situation had gone down with the viewers. They understood, and so they knew bringing him back, and that being the one where we tell you, hey, everyone is here. Here's our proof. The guy you didn't think we could get back. Jigglypuff, number 12. Pichu, 19. Pichu, we didn't expect to come back. Roy, 25. Olimar, 40. Diddy Kong, 36. Lucario, 41. Lucina, 21 with an E, because she's an Echo Fighter. That hadn't been announced yet, but that's a thing. Robin is 56. Bayonetta, 63. Okay. Mr. Game & Watch, 26. Greninja, 50. Dr. Mario, 18. Rob, 42. Duck Hunt, 59. Pit, 28. Dark Pit, 28. Echo Fighter. Palutena, 54. Corrin, 62. Bowser Jr. and the Koopa Links, 58. Toon Link, 43. Young Link, 22. King Dedede, 39. Rosalina and Luma, 48. The Mii Fighters of Mii Gunner, Mii Brawler, 51. Mii Sword Fighter, 52. And Mii Gunner, 53. Wario, 30. Little Mac, 49. Pac-Man, 55. Shulk, 57. Wolf, 44. Mega Man 46 and Super Smash Brothers Ultimate. This is how they told us the name of the game, because like this is not just a regular Super Smash Bros. Game, it's Ultimate. Okay, we had Luigi 9 and Yoshi 5 because they didn't include it in the rest of the video for whatever reason. But they're here too. They're just last for some reason. Guys, I don't even have to tell you. S tier, because this, everyone was here. This is everyone. They did it. They did everyone. Everyone. Up until this point, there are many characters I didn't talk about because we didn't have an introduction video for them, or it was going so fast in the cinematics, I didn't have time to talk about each and every single one of them. But everyone is here. This was the epic moment where I knew I was buying this game. I didn't even have a Switch ordered yet, I don't think. This was the moment I knew I was getting this game. Actually, I think I did have a Switch because I think it had already been out for a year. But I knew this was when I was getting this game. Everyone is here. I don't care. This is going to be epic. Everybody is here. Let's go. Everyone is here. S tier, if not S of S tier. Hey, Artsy Steph. She's lurking but watching and loved this game. Hi, West Sky. How's it going? I am recording a podcast. Just taking a short break to say hi to the chat. How'd you find me? I'm assuming you just saw Smash Brothers stuff and say, ooh, I like that. I like what's going on there. Yeah, I'm just going through and ranking all of the Smash Brothers trailers. I started off with like the old Smash 64 commercial of them going through the field, and I've done pretty much every intro and cinematic up to this point. Yeah, we'll go ahead and hit the next one, which is Daisy. This is how they introduced Echo Fighters, and it's Daisy.
Daisy joins the roster as Peach's Echo
This isn't really a trailer. This was like a segment of the direct.
similar manner as Peach, but they have different characteristics.
And this was how they showed off the Echo Fighter concept.
Have fun playing as your favorite princesses. All in all, if you add up the changes we're making, there could be tens of thousands.
Okay. It's cool and all. It doesn't really hype me the way, I mean, let's face it, Daisy's kind of the Wario version of Peach, but they don't, it's like I said, this was just a segment. It wasn't actually a trailer. And she wasn't in the Everybody Is Here trailer. So that's why this is separate. But yeah, I'm going to have to give it C tier. Yeah, Artsy Stuff in the chat says, I do wish Daisy had more of her own stuff. She's so spunky, I totally could have seen her punch a fool. She did punch a couple fools, because I have been beaten by Daisy a couple times online. But then I'm horrible at Smash Brothers as a player. So, but yeah, next is our first new character we get. And technically, we've already seen him. So we get, of course, the Smash intro, which is different this time because we don't have the fire. And we're in a station we see Samus and Mario, Mega Man, and or they're walking through thing, and something takes out Mega Man. We see a tail go through his thing. Mario gets hit, and it's just Samus left. And then she sighs. She knows what's happening. She aims and there's nothing there. Just Mario's hat. Proof that Mario's dead. Like, what's going on? And there's Ridley. Ridley was an interesting character because Ridley hits the big time is his title card. Supposedly they hadn't included him before because he was too big. But they found a way to make it work, so it works for me. Definitely showing off Ridley as a fighter. It's done well. Once again, we see him fighting a bunch of characters. We see his final smash, which is him firing a weapon at Samus's fighter while the hit fighter is in the way. Oh, you see him looking around, and Zero Suit Samus comes up to kick him in the face. Yeah, the cinematic portion of this is done very well. It's very intense. It's like what's coming, and the fact that we're actually including like other characters who technically don't have to be here, I think is a cool little addition they started doing here. So yeah, we've got Ridley is, I think, going to go B tier, just only because I'm not a big Metroid fan myself, but they did this very well. So we're going to go B tier for that. Next one we've got is... So it opens up and we're outside a castle. I already remember which one this is. This is a good one. It's raining. We see a booted figure walking towards the castle. It creaks open. And we hear some screaming in the background. And Luigi is apparently already here doing his Luigi's Mansion thing, trying to take out these mummies. It's not going well for him. He's running through and running into I think it's supposed to be Medusa. I could be wrong on that. Or it's just a statue. It's very obvious that this, yeah, it's Medusa. Keeps coming up on these monsters he is not meant to be dealing with. And there's a giant Reaper scaring him to death, and he dies. Luigi's dead, folks. I think he's dead. It's like I don't even, and we see this ball and chain come out. I'm sure it's got a different name than that. We see that it's actually Simon Belmont from Castlevania. Simon lashes out. It's like, okay, this is kind of cool. I don't play much Castlevania, so I know who he is, but I don't know him that well. I know he's the more famous of the two characters in this, and there's lots of little cool things here I know that is references to the game. It's just cool. We get to see different monsters. Frankenstein, the Wolfman. We see his final smash with him firing crosses at a coffin. We see him walk up, and Alucard and Dracula's here. So yeah, that's a stage hazard you get to fight at one point. He's a boss character, and Simon's having a hard time in this fight against him for some reason. And just as he gets hit,
You don't belong in this world, monster.
Richter crosses over. Yeah, Richter from one of the, I think it's the prequel to Super Castlevania. I could be wrong. It may have been Symphony of the Night. I don't know. And because Alucard is there too, so yeah, I'm thinking it's Symphony of the Night. And he says one of his famous lines in there. I'm still wishing that we had Dracula say his line from Symphony of the Night. What is a man but a miserable little pile of secrets? But enough about that. Have at you. That would have been a full fun thing to throw in there. I kind of wish it was there, but it's not. But so, oh well. So yeah, there's a couple more minutes of this. We see, yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate cross Castlevania, and it's the NES version of the logo, and we got Luigi's spirit trying to re-enter his body, and a face is making it to where he can't. Poor Luigi. This is a fun one. It gets A tier. Yeah, I just know automatically this is A tier because yeah, it's fun. Sorry, I'm trying to make sure I get the right thing here. Okay, it's that one. So yeah, A tier. It's awesome. Next one we've got is, I think, another Echo Fighter announcement. And yet we get to see Chrom is finally getting his day in the sun, since he was as an Echo Fighter, since he was sorely left out of his daughter's game appearance. And he is just an Echo Fighter of his daughter. So And yeah, it's once again celebration of all the Fire Emblem characters. We get to see him. He does get his own final smash that he doesn't share with anybody else, so that's cool. Yeah, Chrom doesn't get a cinematic, but neither does Dark Samus here, because this is all part of the same trailer. Dark Samus joins the battle. And we just get some little machinima stuff here, which is cool. Just showing off the character. That's all this is really designed to do, and doing cool little visual jokes from time to time. I'm not a Metroid Prime fan, but I do enjoy like all the little Metroid stuff in here, and walking, being with the other characters. And we do get to see her final smash, so I don't know. It's not bad. It's just it's a little underwhelming.
And Dark Samus joined the battle
because it's not, you know, cool, super cool cinematic.
Highly requested. They're each slightly different than the fighters they're based on, so pick whoever you enjoy most. As you can see, depending on your settings, you can either display all
and they're
fighters separately,
showing off more of the Echo fighters in this too.
Fighters they're based on. When stacked, you can switch between them with the press of a button.
See, I didn't even remember you could do that because I don't think I ever did that. And we had a short thing of Sakurai. We'll get to this next one here in a second. I'm going to give this one a B because it's good. But I mean, no, I'm giving it C because it much like the Daisy one, it's not really a trailer. It is showing it off, but it's really meant to be more of a segment of the direct. It's showing you this cool stuff. It does some cool things, but if I can't give Mewtwo and Lucas and Roy, Cord and Bayonetta better than that, honestly, I shouldn't give these two because they were A, they're Echo Fighters, and B, they're not even the trailers aren't even as good as those. So yeah, C tier. But now we've got the Rivals, which I remember this one. This is a good one. This one got me excited. This got me more excited than the other one. So we've got showing off all the characters facing off against their villains, ending with Samus and Ridley. And we see Donkey and Diddy hanging out in the treehouse. Donkey Kong even scratches his butt because why not? And they hear something makes a noise outside, and it's causing an earthquake in their tree. However that works. They go and look out the window, and a giant shadow with a crown is there, and it's King DDD trying to be funny, like, hey, it's me. And they're going, what? And he's saying, oh, look, I'm funny, haha, look, I'm funny. And then who he was pretending to be comes up and smacks him in the back of the head, and we see it's King K. Rool comes aboard, and Donkey and Diddy's eyes bug out, and King K. Rool is like, oh yeah, this is fun. I was happy that King K. Rool was in it because that's another character I kind of assumed was never coming back because of Rare being owned by Microsoft. Apparently Nintendo does actually own this character, so they didn't have to go to Microsoft for it, but still. And they're showing all this stuff. It's like, okay, this is cool. And his final smash, as they show here, is him blasting DK Island. And we get returned to the cinematic of them Donkey and running towards K. Rool on all fours, and they go to punch, and Donkey, Diddy, and punch him with this big thing. It's just a cool trailer. This one does hype me up. It's not as hype as some others. Yeah, it doesn't hype me like some of the others, but it's still good. So I'm going to give King K. Rool here A tier. I think it's A tier. But next, we've got something slightly different. So we've got Isabelle from Animal Crossing New Leaf. Kind of jumping around trying to get some stuff done in the office. She says, phew, just a little more and I'll be done. You should take a break. Keep going. It's a selection. She bits, you should take a break. No, don't worry about me. I really enjoy my work. I'm sorry, that was the player saying that. I enjoy my work. She goes back, is looking at the table and says, although I wish the mayor wasn't so busy with the campsite and Smash. I should point out they had just announced right before this, literally right before this, a cell phone game called Animal Crossing Campground, I think it was, for you to go to, and that's what she's referring to there. And of course, the mayor in this case is supposed to be Villager, even though it's Villager, but it's not. Maybe I should be the mayor instead. She's thinking, oh yeah, that should be me. But that's not really me. What am I saying? Keep it together, Isabelle. And a duck mailman comes in named Pete. He says, you have a letter. Hands her the letter. She puts it in and says, oh, Pete, thank you for all your hard work. And Pete walks out and she looks around. It's like, she's walking back to the desk. She gets her letter out, looks and goes, I wonder what this is about. And this whole thing is, and for audio listeners, this whole thing is being done in like the Animal Crossing style. I want to point out, it's you don't know what we're in for. I mean, we know it's Smash Brothers because this is what the thing is. Oh, they want me in Smash? Isabelle turns over a new leaf. And now we switch to Smash Village and we see her running through. I love them using like the old style footage, the old style game for the setup, and then showing all this machinima footage of her with dogs and mayors and such. In this, it's fun. I mean, she's not an Echo Fighter; she's her own character, which is nice. But she's very, very much like Villager. It's like that was a weird way to do the trailer, but hey, that's cool. I hope you'll cheer me on, she says, as she's out front of Onett. It's like, okay, that's kind of cool. I like Isabelle. Fun fact, this trailer, I think, came out the same day that they announced Doom. And so there was this fun meme where Isabelle and Doom Guy were hanging out online and different things. It was kind of fun. But this is cool and all, but it's, I don't know. I'm going to give it B tier just because it does fit, and it's a nice way to throw you off about what's coming, but it's still just, it doesn't hype me. It's cool, but it didn't hype me. And that's part of what this thing is. How much does it hype me? So next we get another, we get some more, we get another one. I keep continuing. So we're at the boxing ring, and we see Little Mac fighting a man, and it's revealed that this man actually is a new Echo Fighter for the game, because it's Ken from Street Fighter. So this is his introduction. Ken turns up the heat. And now we're showing off Ken's stuff, which is like, okay, this is kind of cool. It's not a big difference, but it's like, okay, cool. We're showing him fighting different characters and his karate while the Ken's theme is playing in the background. And it shifts back to him fighting Little Mac in the boxing ring. He does a Hadouken. It misses Little Mac. We see the background, two eyes glowing. And as Ken's getting ready to do does his final smash and knocks Pit into the scoreboard for a knockout, a new challenger approaches. And it's the new Pokemon rep, Incineroar. Incineroar enters the ring.
So, you want to fight fire with fire, huh?
And they go and fight each other, which is kind of cool. And now we're showing off Incineroar, which is the new fighter for the Pokemon series this time. I believe from Gen 8, the Galar region. And he's basically a cat wrestler. So we see him fighting different fighters. He does fight Wrestle Pikachu, which is one of the skins for Pikachu in the game. He does his final smash where he knocks. It's cool. Causes a big atomic explosion. It's like, okay, Incineroar. He's not my favorite Pokemon from this era, but he works. He knocks Ken into the scoreboard for a knockout. And as he turns around, there's many different other characters ready for a fight with boxing gloves, including Villager, Bowser Jr. in his clown car, and King K. Rool. Like, okay. And he says, like, now I gotta fight all these losers. I mean, it's not a bad choice. He's not my favorite of this era, but it works. So, yeah, I'll give Incineroar and Ken... Incineroar and Ken's trailer a B, because it's good, but it's not, you know, super great. And now we get our first what on earth, really. I say that after Isabelle, but this was the first DLC character that they announced. And we're thinking, do what? So we get the Smash logo. It's now E10 for everyone 10 and up. We see Luigi's knocked out with a green shell. The Yoshis are knocked out. What's going on? Mario is pissed as he comes on screen and walks off. And he walks up on a piranha plant in a pot. Who comes up? It's like, is that a new item or what? And he knocks Mario out, does some biting, and goes, Piranha Plant, pipes up. Yeah, Piranha Plant's a fighter now. I remember thinking, this is odd. An odd choice for a fighter of any kind. It's cool, though. And I'll admit to you that Piranha Plant is my current main. I don't play that often, but admittedly, this is not really showing too much off that's specific. The cinematic was like very short because they didn't have a lot of time to work on it. We see the final smash. He summons his big brother Petey Piranha. But it's like, okay, that's cool. I mean, he is my main, so you think I'm going to give him like S tier, but he doesn't hype me as badly. I'm going to give him A because this did make me play the character. But yeah. So this next one, hang on, I haven't checked chat in a bit. Artsy Steph says, "Oh yeah, that's one time Luigi died." And the answer says, "Oh man, the K. Rool one always cracked me up." Well, no cinematic for Chrom, I guess. Oh, Villager's about to get evicted. That's nice. And she says, this was one of the first DLC fighters I got. I love his little feats when he runs. I think that may have been what it was such a goofy character. It's for the same reason I like Duck Hunt. It's a goofy character, and I think that's why I liked him. But this next one, and admittedly, I did pull this from a different source because I wanted a little more context. This next one happened at the Game Awards, and it just so happens Smash Brothers was releasing the same day as the Game Awards, or it was releasing technically the next day, but it was at midnight, so it was like within hours. And in the middle of the Game Awards, this happened.
There are still lots of amazing moments coming up in the show.
We get Jeff Keighley introducing this.
The Game of the Year announcement.
Power goes out.
What's going on? Okay.
The screen has fuzz, and of course we know what this is because of what I'm doing, but at the time I'm just seeing, oh, Persona 5, and I'd gotten into Persona 5. It's like, oh, you broke into the theater. That's cool.
Seriously? He went alone to the Game Awards?
And they're actually talking about it.
It's so far away. Why is...
And admittedly, this is still using like the Persona 5 like opening cinematic artwork. So it's like, okay, this is a cool trailer for this, but what is this? Is Persona 5 coming to the Switch? That's kind of an odd thing to be showing at the Game Awards, but what is this?
There. There's only one thing the Phantom Thieves of Heart specialize in.
He's there to steal a treasure. Have you already sent a calling card?
We're not the ones sending a card.
Guys, I am getting goosebumps watching this again.
Invited to steal the greatest treasure of all.
Envelope in. It's a Smash logo! It's a Smash invitation!
Is this for real?
And all the shadows turned into Super Smash Brothers characters.
Can't wait to see our fearless leader show his stuff.
It's like, oh, this is so cool! I was so hyped when this happened. He takes off his mask. We see Arsene behind him.
Thou art I. Show the strength of thy
Challenger Pack number 1. They were introducing the DLC, and it was starting with Joker from Persona 5. I remember being so hyped. And the game wasn't out yet. The game was coming out 2 hours after this, guys. I had already pre-ordered. I was just waiting. It was already preloaded onto my Switch as I'm watching this on my Switch on YouTube. Guys, I was watching this to save time for it, and they're introducing this like. I was hyped. I was super hyped. A tier all the way. I kind of S tier all the way because this one got me hyped. It was the best way they could actually introduce how they were handling DLC because we hadn't even heard. We knew the DLC was coming, but then they go Challenger Pack number 1. It's like, there's more? And we kind of knew there was more, but it's like, this is how we're starting. Okay, this is a lot better than how. This is a lot better than how Smash 4 started with its DLC. But yeah. And because the game came out it came out that night, I believe next is the Smash Ultimate intro. And I do like this opening theme song. And yeah, this is not showing off anything super different. It is different scenes from the game, just done edited together in a way that kind of looks dramatic and cinematic in a way. Some of the stuff is from the opening. We'll get to talk about more here in a minute. From the World of Light game story mode in this. So, and mostly this is just showing off all the characters. Surprisingly, this is doing a better job of hyping me than many of the other cinematics. Looking at it again, because I don't think I've seen this since the game came out. I usually just skip past it. And I remember watching this going, what is going on with the glowing red eyes? I remember thinking, oh, this hero, this story mode is going to be like the super cool epic. It was okay. But this does get me hyped for it. That's the thing. It gets me hyped. We see Ganon. Yeah. It's just done. It's not showing anything we haven't seen before or wasn't already pre-made. Nothing here is made specifically for this opening, but at the same time, this is cool. We did get Rathalos in there from Monster Hunter, which was a boss character, strangely enough. And I think they did their best to try and show every character in this opening in one form or another. Sometimes we're getting final smashes. Sometimes we're just showing off characters in environments. And I went ahead and cut that off because it was about to automatically go to some title cards that I didn't know what they were. And for the streamers, I didn't want to actually accidentally hit something. It is cool. I think this one actually did better than the others. So it's going to get A tier. This next one though is it's actually technically I think we actually got this before the game came out, but I placed it here because it's actually the opening cutscene to the World of Light segment. So we got Fox.
Don't let a single one get away.
And they're all standing on this cliff facing something. Tons of master hands and probably crazy hands with this giant creature called Galeem, by the way.
We'll each need to take down about 10.
Stow your fear. It's now or never.
We'll win this.
This is like far more epic than I was ever expecting to come back to this. And we have and the gloves for the hands, they're taking apart, and this light is pouring into Galeem. Shulk gets just a quick glance at what was happening and tries to warn everyone, but this black hole shows up and this light spews out and starts hitting everybody. Link's the first one taken out, followed by Samus. Mewtwo and Zelda get hit. Okay, I want to point this out. Sonic only gets hit because he tried to slow down to help Pikachu. Sonic was being a bro. And for that, he got hit by this. It's Pikachu's fault. Pikachu needs to run faster. But no, it's one of the reasons I'm a big Sonic fan is that Sonic would do that. And I appreciate that they showed that here. He would slow down to help those who couldn't help themselves. Even though he's the fastest thing alive, he ends up having to slow up enough to get caught. Bayonetta gets hit, but tries to escape by turning into vampires. All the Pokemon and Bowser get hit. Captain Falcon tries to escape, and the Blue Falcon gets hit. The Card Great Ninja try to teleport away, but they get hit. Inklings try to hide in their ink. They get hit. Falco tries to escape with the R-Wing. He gets hit. Pit and Dark Pit try to fly, but Palutena gets hit, so they lose their flying ability. Snake's just hiding in a box. He gets hit. Diddy and Palutena try to get hit. The Villager, I think, is this Villager? Hang on. Diddy Kong Rosalina. Okay. Villager's running around panicked. Duck Hunt is trying to hide behind his, the dog is trying to hide behind his paws while the duck is trying to face away, hiding. And Wii Fit Trainer is just doing one of the yoga poses. I don't play Wii Fit Trainer because it's an odd character, but the funny thing is, someone pointed this out to me, is that the move she's doing right here, apparently in Smash 4, had a small invulnerability window. So she's just mistimed it here. Everyone's running. Kirby is on a Warp Star is the only one who's making it in any distance. He finally warps away before he nearly got hit. And then all these other characters from these other games get hit, and the light explodes. You know, the galaxy dims. It's the end of the universe. We fade to white and then fade back to black. We see these ghostly forms kind of floating over the things. Kirby comes back out of the sky on the Warp Star. Hits the ground as the music cuts in. This might have been the actual opening trailer now that extra trailer for Ultimate. And shows the World of Light area he'll have to travel through to find his friends. Yes, this is just showing off all the World of Light. We see Mario is captured and this gold liquid flows over him and a shadow form forms underneath him. It separates, falls to the ground. One of these ghost things gets stuck in him. He stands up with red eyes, ready to fight his friends. And it's just showing off this sort of thing, because it's showing off that fight. It's the first fight in the World of Light game, and we see all the characters have had this done to them. Because they were actually showing off spirits in this too. And it's just showing them going across the map and fighting these different characters who have different spirits that are controlling them. This mode was actually very cool, I thought. There's so many little Easter eggs that were fun. It was a little long, I'll admit, but it was cool. Yeah, so that was the World of Light trailer technically, but that opening scene does show up, and as some of those cutscenes are in that World of Light segment, and that was cool. I'm giving that an A because World of Light should have come back a lot sooner than it did. Story mode should have come back a lot sooner than it did. I always disagreed with Sakurai's belief that somehow them being online ruined him, even though we did get to see them early. Next, we get while this isn't the reveal trailer for Joker, it is technically his full trailer Full character trailer. So we get a replay of a little bit of that opening without the voiceover. Mostly just a reminder, hey, remember this happened? Joker steals the show.
Joker, it's the moment you've been waiting for.
So we see Joker on top of a building.
Legendary fighters. Awesome!
Are you sure he can handle this?
I mean, he's got a knife and a gun.
Yeah,
I'm sure he'll be fine.
He's got a knife. He should be fine.
I don't know. It looked pretty tough.
Harness the power of the heart to summon a persona. Unleash the rebellious spirit
Yeah.
growing inside you.
And just showing him fighting other characters. He summons Arsene to fight along with him now.
Oh, Arsene. Arsene? Can't he use a more powerful persona? What are you talking about? Arsene is awesome.
Arsene was like the weakest one, even though it was his main persona.
Hold on to your rebellious spirit. Arsene will give your attacks an extra punch. Wow, he can use wings instead of his grappling hook. If Joker is
Which
attacked while
the grappling
Arsene
hook was technically the first time they showed that off because Royal wasn't announced yet.
A counter that's also a reflect? Is that even allowed?
And that's showing off different things from the game. They're
This is
nice. And now they're showing mementos. Oh, pedal. I dropped the controller. Okay, that was... Yeah, we were getting into mementos. So yeah, we're showing off the stage, which is mementos.
palace birthed from the hearts of the masses, right?
Which actually makes sense as a choice here from a gameplay. And of course, we see that mementos has all the other Phantom Thieves in it too. And then this is for... And then we just go into Persona 3 colors.
Depending on the music.
It's like, okay, that's cool.
That's awesome.
I can hardly
I mean, it doesn't quite match those things, but it does follow the themes from those games.
Now's our chance.
And now we get to see the Final Smash. And of course, what's the Final Smash? It's
of the Phantom Thieves.
it's an all-out attack.
Beat 'em up.
Psh! And unlike... I want to point this out. Unlike in Persona 5 itself, where it's blood spray that pops up out of the characters, because this is Smash Brothers, it's a spray of light. Keeping it E10 at the same time, also in canon, how this is working. And
Smash is looking cool.
we see that he actually gets his victory screen from the game as his victory screen in this. So that's cool too. Fighting shadow versions of Samus and Link too. So yeah, lots of cool little things here. This is not as hype as the first one. Oh, and he's stealing a crown like at the beginning of the game. Stealing different their treasures. I get it. That's cool and all. This doesn't hype me like the first one did, because the first one, it's like, they're doing this? That's awesome. And this does show us cool things. But there are also things that, because we had time to think about it, or at least I had time to think about it, it's like, oh, they're going to have to, like, I kind of figured they have to do an all-out attack for that, for the Final Smash. That makes sense. It's not that it's bad. It's good. It's just, I kind of knew all the stuff. I kind of could guess some of this. So I'm going to give it an A just because it is still awesome. Because they did give him a full-blown trailer along with that teaser. But let's face it, it just was not as good as the teaser. So next one, we got one that I've actually streamed on this channel before. Or streamed on the Twitch channel, I should say, for the audio listeners. We see Darkon, I believe is his name. Over the thing. We hear some attacks. Link is fighting a controlled Marth and a controlled Meta Knight. You get some nice, cool fighting going on here. We see a horse galloping in on screen. Like, who is this guy? It makes sense because we're actually dealing with like adventure heroes here. Who's in this so far? Except for Meta Knight, he's just a monster. He fits the monster motif, and he gets taken out by a guy with a sword. It's like, okay, great, another sword fighter for Smash Brothers. And as he stands up, light comes up, and we hear the Dragon Quest theme start up. It's like, okay, cool. It's Dragon Quest. I hadn't played Dragon Quest 11 by the time this came out because it wasn't out over here. And they're calling him the hero? Really? You couldn't give him, he doesn't have a different name than that? That's what I was thinking at the time. I still find it weird he doesn't have an actual name. It's like, okay, so it's the Dragon Quest 11 protagonist. That's cool and all. I do like the game and it's showing off some cool things from what I remembered. At the same time, it's like, okay, Dragon Quest, slimes, yay. That's cool. And fighting shadows, that's kind of a fun thing. And then more cinematics and the slimes. And the hero gets thrown against the pillar. He's overwhelmed by how many possessed fighters are there. And then the one from 8, the one from 4, I think it's 4. And then Erdrick himself from Dragon Quest 3, the actual original hero of Dragon Quest. They've all come together because they're all his different costumes. Which is cool. I didn't know that at the time. And he gets to use magic from the game, so he's got a little bit of RNG system that's kind of fun. So it's like, okay, this is cool. I still at the time did not know much about Hero, and I can imagine for many North American players, this was like okay, this is a choice. And I like the Final Smash actually uses all the heroes from the game, including the one from Dragon Quest 1. So yeah, it's cool and all, but it's Dragon Quest. If you don't know what Dragon Quest is, I can see how this wouldn't work for you. It works for me because I've played a lot of these Dragon Quest games now. But yeah. I'm gonna give it A tier because it does its job. And Grant, I think this was added because it was so heavily wanted in Japan. That's why he got it. It helps that I think that our next one was definitely a pick for the North Americans. So this one starts off much like the King K. Rool one for a good reason. So we get the same pictures from that opening, but instead of ending on Ridley and Samus, we also get Donkey, Diddy, and King K. Rool doing their fight from the trailer in that same art style before it cuts off. So it's like, okay, this is slightly different, but it's playing out the same. Oh, King K. Rool's also here asleep. And a puzzle piece pops by going, it's like, I didn't play a lot of that game. It's like, they didn't. There's no way they did this. Because this is both a third party and not a third party character. I'm sorry. They look back and forth. All three of them cram against the window, say who's here. And they see what looks like a bird and a bear, only for it to be Duck Hunt Dog. Doing the same joke that DDD did from the first one. So yeah, we're playing the same joke here, but it's still fun. And he's doing the Duck Hunt Dog is actually doing the laugh from Duck Hunt. I hadn't caught that that's what he was doing before. So I was like, okay, I get it. And then he gets it, and he gets smacked out by none other than Banjo and Kazooie. And they're raring to go. And like everyone's happy. It's amazing that we got this, but still cool that we did. I like to point out in Banjo-Tooie, we get to see some of Kazooie's diary, and she says, I want to be in Smash. She finally got in Smash. So yeah, we see him doing a bunch of different attacks from the game, bees and everything. We see Spiral Mountain. It does a spiral thing, which is weird. You see Grunty and her. You see his thing where he summons the big Jinjo and knocks King K. Rool off a cliff into the ground and does the big cartoon hole, and a giant rock falls on it. And Banjo and Kazooie get to hang out, get to do their big pose in front with everybody. So yeah, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Cross Banjo-Kazooie. And now Banjo is walking up, trying to steal some pancakes from Ivysaur. He doesn't escape very well. So yeah, that's also super hype. I'm not a big Banjo-Kazooie fan, but I love that it's here and that they played into the other Rare trailer they did. So I'm going to give this one an A also because it's fun and it's like still cool. Microsoft actually has paid money is allowing this to happen. Now this next one, it might get a little bit more hype, but not because of the character in it, but because of the history. Even if it is obscure history. So we see a list of Nintendo consoles, starting with the Switch at the bottom of 2017. It scrolls up, goes up to the NES and the Game & Watch, scrolls back down to Super Nintendo, and then it switches to the right, and we see the Neo Geo. What's a Neo Geo, you ask? And then it plays the Neo Geo opening. It's like, okay, I didn't play Neo Geo. I don't even know who any of this... I didn't even know who this character was when I first saw this. But the fact that this is all in pixel art animation from that time period, you cordially invited me to eat Smash, don't be late. And someone tries to grab it, they don't get it. And we go through different fighting games, fighting cutscenes as each of these people who unfortunately, I don't know who their names from the King of Fighters. I know that's what this is mostly from. They're all trying to get this this letter. It's obviously the invitation to Smash Brothers. And none of them are successful as the invitation continues on. I think it's King of Fighters. There may be other SNK franchises here too. That was for fans of this stuff. It's fun to see. And it falls on the ground only to get picked up by Terry Bogard, who is also faces the Fury. According to this, he's the. And this is just saying, oh, it's now in development. It's like, okay, it's a teaser. The fact that it's a teaser right there, even though I love the Neo Geo opening and all that kind of cool pixel art stuff, already kind of just kills it for me. It's simply a teaser. I'm going to give it a C because it is just a teaser. But we do have the Legendary Wolf, which I believe is his full trailer, and I'm curious if they do the same opening again. It's been, like I said, it's been a while. Now it's E10 to teen. How does that work? Yeah, we jump straight to the Neo Geo opening this time. And yeah, we play through the full that full part again. I'm going to fast forward a bit to actually showing Terry. This time it's red instead of blue, by the way. And now we see Terry getting ready to face off against different Smash fighters. He's a fighting game character. I admittedly don't know him that well. And you would think that because I don't know him that well, that like some of the others, I would rate him lower. I'm not going to go full D tier because even though I don't know the character that well, or at all, they do a good job here of really promoting him, even if he is kind of an obscure choice for many people. But because the pixel art opening and everything, I'm gonna give that C. Where is the thing? Up there it is. See, I'm gonna give that B tier actually. Okay, next we've got oh yeah, this one. We're gonna get a little bit more anime again. This is the final DLC character of Challenge Pack 1, which at the time we thought this was where it was ending. And it's Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's a Fire Emblem character. Great. Another sword fighter, and it's probably the main character, so it's Byleth. I remember being disappointed that this was how we were ending when the other four, even though the last one was kind of weird, the other four were at least cool. And then we get a Fire Emblem rep.
What were you thinking, charging right into an enemy's trap?
Don't get me wrong, it's still doing it well because it kind of it fits in the aesthetic of the original game.
Are you prepared to die?
Apparently he's silent protagonist.
I also do not wish to die.
But that's because Sothis talks so stinking much. That's this other girl talking with the green hair.
There is no other choice. You must join Smash.
Why does joining a Smash Brothers game help in this situation?
Join Smash Brothers already. What in the world are you waiting for?
That is one of the things that is weird. It's like, how does joining this help in this fight? So yeah, Byleth joins Smash House.
So joining Smash consumes even the darkness itself.
Apparently. I don't know. This is a weird one. I have played some of some of Fire Emblem Three Houses. It's not, I didn't get too far into it just because it is so long and so and so in depth. And I'm not a big tactical RPG fan to begin with. But yeah, he gets defeated.
And sooner than expected. I see. Too many swordsmen, are there?
I do like that they throw a joke at the too many swordsmen and smashed complaint that was people had for so long.
You wield the sword as well? What will you do?
I will turn into a girl. Because literally we went to the female version of Byleth.
So that is how you plan to win the day?
Apparently.
So be it. I reward your cleverness this time.
It's not really that clever because all the the Fire Emblem protagonists go male and have both their male and female forms. The only difference is now you get like 3 other weapons to attack with too that are like
How is this?
they're the big legendary weapons that each house gets, if I remember correctly. So yeah, Byleth recruits Byleth. This actually is a joke that plays better in the Japanese because the characters' names are spelled different, even though they're pronounced the same in Japanese. Or not spelled, but they're written different. I don't know. It's not bad. It's just disappointing that this was how we were ending Smash Brothers, as far as we knew at the time.
Strike with superior reach. Use Amir's overwhelming power. Unleash the blinding speed of Failnaught. Along with the sword of the creator, each weapon matches a direction.
Okay, cool. But at the same time, this I just got so I don't really like this one, and I know there's Fire Emblem mains who probably think this is they love this trailer, but for me this was so disappointing that this was how it was ending. I'm gonna give it a C tier just because was so disappointing. This was how it was ending. And it doesn't even hype me here like some others did. So in the rewatch. So next we've got another teaser for the beginning of Challenge Pack 2. This is how they announced it.
The fighter included
or
in
Fire
Wave
Pack 2
6 of the paid Super Smash Bros. Ultimate DLC will be.
Yeah, they went ahead and announced this, or they announced what it was from. I think. Yeah, it was from ARMS.
From ARMS. This fighter is a bit unusual thanks to those extendable arms, so we'll have to extend our development time too.
Yeah, it's just
Stay
saying
tuned for just a bit longer. The next fighter will be announced and released this June.
Yeah. So guess where this one's going? Because they didn't even show anything. It's a trailer, or it's not even a trailer. It's a segment that does nothing. It's D tier. It's bottom of the barrel. Bye-bye. Let's actually move on to the actual trailer for this character. So we've got Captain Falcon and Kirby eating ramen noodles in a shop. Kirby's obviously a lot faster. While an arms fight is going on at the local stadium. Arms was a game that came out on the Switch, like, right at the start. They box with springy arms, or springy appendages, I should say. And it looks like the Springman's going to get the thing, the invitation. But he gets knocked out by somebody else. Ribbon Girl, I believe, is her name. And different characters are getting this as they're each fighting over it. Like, who's going to get it? Who is going to get the actual thing? There's one character here who's not here. And that's the one that's actually running the ramen shop. Because we see in the background a young girl. And as Captain Falcon finishes his ramen, she sees her chance. She escapes. They're fighting over the invitation still. She grabs it. She activates whatever powers allow her to get the stuff, and it's find out, oh, it's Min Min from ARMS with dragon arms. It's like, okay, cool. I don't know what makes this character different from the others, but it's like, okay, we knew we were getting an ARMS character, so that's not disappointing, because Min Min arms herself is her thing. Grant, this was another one that's like, okay, it's a Nintendo property. I have nothing against it being a Nintendo property. It's just I don't care about this character because I didn't play ARMS because I'm not a big... this just was not one that was on my list, so... It's not bad. It's the animation on it is cool in the opening, so I'll give it some points for that. But in terms of hyping me for playing the character, this didn't get me to buy Fighter Pass 2. I'll tell you that right now. But this is still kind of cool, what we're seeing here. If you're going to do a representative from this is not a bad way to do it. I'll admit that. So yeah, I'm giving this one C tier just because it was well made. I get the feeling there's some Japanese stuff to this with ramen that I don't get, but that's fine. It's just how things go. Next, we've got... I'm kind of just jumping through these fast. So we got Mario on, and Mega Man and a couple other fighters on the on Battlefield. They're fighting each other, doing their thing. On a classic, he's fighting Cloud. Just fighting back and forth. I actually trying to remember who this is. Oh yeah, and he gets knocked into a wall. What is going on here? And it's dark. There's weird glowing eyes. It's like, where am I? If you're paying attention, you might have recognized some sound effects. And I remember going, Minecraft? Steve rocks the block. This is kind of a what on earth moment is going on here. Steve just eats a little bit of meat. Creeper walks up, Steve walks out, Mario doesn't know what's going on, and then Mario gets blown up. It works. This works so well. It's funny. So you got Steve is such an odd character. He's not really any odder than, like, say, Mr. Game & Watch. But he is so different from the aesthetic of most of the other characters here. And the funny thing is, from what I remember hearing on this, is that they actually had to reprogram like every stage in the game to account for this character. So yeah, it's not just Steve. We got Alex. Alex swaps in as another costume. And then I think we also get it goes tonight, and of course that means the monsters come out. And I don't think zombies can actually break down the door, but I could be wrong. But zombie spawns in, so you can play as a zombie from Minecraft too. That makes sense. I mean, it's not like these character and Enderman steps from the shadows. This is actually the more creative one because they had because this version of Enderman, I don't think you can actually play in Minecraft because he's usually a lot taller. The other three, the zombie, the Alex, and Steve, at least those characters, they're just skins of the same model. This is actually an original model made for this, even though I think they probably just took the regular Enderman and then just shrunk them down. And he's staring at him, at Snake, hiding in the rain. I don't know. And he's showing off the different biomes from the Minecraft stages. It's cool and all. This is one other one I was like, I didn't expect to see it, and so it was kind of cool. I am curious. Yeah, we're showing the final smashes where they blows up the house. I'm curious if I don't remember if they do the show his end game, his victory pose, because if it's a certain one, yeah, it's okay. It's that victory. It's not the one that they had to change because no one in Japan realized what they'd done when they were showing him eating his steak. We'll just say his steak. This is a fun one. This is actually what inspired this entire concept for me to do originally. Apparently 4 years ago, now that I'm seeing when this video was uploaded. So yeah, I'm giving this one A tier. It's fun. It's great. I love it. But next, I'll already tell you, this next one is S tier. This next one is definitely S tier. So we come in on many of the fires. Some of these not having appeared in the other ones because they weren't introduced, or DLC characters introduced after that. They're all losing in this fight against Galeem. And it's like, okay, things are looking bad. What's gonna happen? And before he explodes, Galeem turns black. It gets cut in half. What's happening? And it's like, and then these freaking notes. I'm already going, they didn't. They didn't. And we get Cloud in. And of course, they're still talking in Japanese because they couldn't get English voice actors for some reason. And we get Sephiroth descends to battle. And it's the I've been waiting for this moment. This is the Advent One-Winged Angel song from Advent Children. And that's important because what you're going to see if you're watching this is a lot of call-outs to the Cloud Sephiroth fight in the end of Advent Children. Now I shall give Smash despair. That's actually his victory pose. That's so awesome. It's just showing this character as being awesome. Because he's the evil villain of evil villains. I'm sorry. And I know he's a mama's boy. I don't care. We get to see a new Final Fantasy VII stage based on... And he kills Zelda. like she's Aerith. Pathetic. We see he's got a Blackwing. That's kind of cool. They're fighting at the end, at the core of the world. Meteor is coming down. You get this big, huge explosion as Sephiroth's walking towards the screen. Bayonetta tries to take him out, fails. Grogu Greninja. He stabs Mario, seemingly, through the chest, like he did Cloud in Advent Children. And the best part of this, I was like, oh, he just got it in the thing. That's lucky. Cloud comes up to attack. And if you're watching, Mario gets thrown out. It's like, because we can't have Mario die in a Nintendo trailer. We killed Luigi earlier, can't kill Mario. We see Cloud actually gets an updated version of Omnislash for a Final Smash. So it's like, hey, bring it back Final Fantasy VII, folks. It's awesome. Hey, we got you more songs. There's no longer just 2. And then we get this. Straight from the end of Advent Children. The last lines Cloud says to Sephiroth, but Stay where you belong, in my memories. And I will never be a memory. And then this! Final Smash! Grant, part of this is in the cinematic, but then it goes into... Oh, we're gonna get hit with Meteor. We're all dead. We're all dead! Awesome. I told you. I told you, just knowing that this was the next one, this was S tier. S tier all the freaking way. This might be the coolest version, coolest trailer that Smash Brothers has put out. I will probably wrong, because there's a lot of other cool ones in here. But in terms of cinematics, this is the one that made me go, oh, this is awesome! This is awesome! So the next one that I don't have as much care for, because it's Xenoblade Chronicles 2. And I have no opinion on Xenoblade Chronicles 2 because I didn't get far enough in it to have an opinion. Other than it just didn't hold me. For what I did play with, this does feel like it fits in that.
One day, Pyra just disappeared.
At least he got English voice acting. I mean, yeah, I get that he's going around talking to people. He's looking to find out where Pyra went, but obviously no one's going to know where she went. And if I knew who these characters were, this might have a bigger impact on me, but I never got far enough in this game to really understand what what any of these people were. And it's like, dude, you know she's alive. You're holding on to half of her heart. I get far enough to understand that part. And then we see him walking through this mist. He finally catches up with her. This is where you were, in the middle of nowhere.
Sorry, Rex. I couldn't tell you. Because I got an invitation to join Smash.
Bear in mind, I think this is another one, we didn't know it was a Smash Brothers commercial trailer until this happened. It's like, oh, this is Smash Brothers. Pyra blazes into battle.
I thought I was gonna be in Smash.
Everyone thought you were going to be in Smash, Rex.
Behold the power of the Aegis.
What? And honestly, like I said, I just don't know these characters enough in order to really have an opinion on this, and I've not played the character, so I don't know anything about it. I will say, from what I can see, trying to look at it objectively and guessing and basing what I know of the game, the cinematics were done very well, and this is done very good also, showing this off. It actually does feel like I'm watching a moment from the game. And yeah, the whole fact that they can switch out is cool between Pyra and Mythra. I don't know if you could carve up a bomb like that, though. Mythra awakens. This is like her other half, or like her original half. I'm not sure which. I didn't even get to Mythra in the game. Do know that they had to censor her costume because the original version was not E10 or T for that matter. I'm sure there's some different things here is I just don't get. I do like the fact that they could switch back because we hadn't had that in a while. Because we never got that back with Zelda and Sheik.
Quite the spectacle, aren't they? Wait, Grumps?
You're a stage?
I've missed this, everybody. Mind if I watch a while? Oh, look, our friends are here. And there's a boy.
Yes, it's almost like they are cameos. At least Rex does get to show up for the final Smash. That's at least fun. I get the feeling if I got into this, I would like it more, but
Never expected to see you two again.
I mean, you get the nice meetup with Shulk.
Now that you're in Smash, I won't go easy on you.
Ooh, fighting words. You forget. We're fighters too!
Okay. That's good. I'm gonna give that B tier. I probably would give it more if I understood the characters and knew most of the guesses. It's done well. Actually, you know what? No. I'm giving it A tier. It is done very well from what I can tell. If I got into more of that stuff, I probably would know more of it. I just don't. And so it does not hype me as much. It does hype me a little. Even though I don't know who it is because it's actually done that well. But anyway. Next one. So I know this is another fighting game character, and it's not a fighting game I've played. But we see Ganondorf being carried to the edge of a cliff where there's lava. And he gets thrown in. And it's Kazuya from Tekken, I believe. It's like, well, at least this isn't Heihachi, because I am tired of Heihachi. Everyone's tired of Heihachi showing up in all these other games. And so we see him fighting different fighting game characters, which is cool. Here in this thing, on different attacks. He's fighting King K. Rool, fighting Ken, fighting Samus, fighting Captain Falcon. Now he's carrying Captain Falcon to the thing. Apparently those little eyes in Captain Falcon's helmet are electric because they were sparking there, which is kind of interesting. So Kazuya's throwing every single fighter off. I do like this with Min where he gets caught on there. He's throwing every single fighter off into this thing, and now he goes demon form, which means he ought to get along with Bayonetta, I would assume. And we see his stage that actually can fall apart while you're fighting, which is cool. Heihachi is there, so he's not like gone, but it is his dad, so this will be your burial ground. And I do like how his victory fanfare is just the Wittens thing from that. So yeah, Smash Brothers Cross Tekken. Wait, I just saw something. Tekken series rated teen by the ESRB. And now Kazuya's carrying Kirby off to off the cliff, drops him in. But he looks over because it's taking too long for him to fall. And we see Kirby just float off into the background. Okay, that is good. So we got one more trailer. I got to rate this. I do have to rate this one. I don't know this one as well because I don't play it, but I mean, this is funny. So, I'm going to give it B tier. It fits. It does what it's supposed to do. It's just not a character that hypes me, but it is funny. Now this last one, y'all can probably guess, considering my history. Considering my other podcast, considering the podcast itself. If you are wanting to know what Super Smash Brothers Kingdom Hearts connection was. So yeah, we get a flashback to the original trailer, even with Inkling Girl, as she turns. I think what's cool about this is you can actually, as they're sitting there, it actually looks like they're turning back into vinyl figures, which is so cool. Because they are statues. That's the lore of this franchise, is that they're statues that brought to life by a child's imagination. It's like, it's the end. At least that's what we thought. But then a light flashes. It wakes up Mario. Mario sees the flame. He steps off his stand and walks towards the light. Now, I can tell you, when I was first watching this, I had no idea where we were going. There's nothing here that was telling me. I had heard people, and Artsy said, he says, it was a bit unexpected, and it was funny that everyone guessed it. I had heard, I remember people saying, this is who this is. This has to be who this is. Why would it not be? He's a perfect choice. This character was even the top rated, the top asked for person in the Smash Fighters ballot from Super Smash Bros. 4. Okay? I was in denial. And I was in denial because I knew who he was half owned by. There was no way I thought this character could ever get into it because of copyright issues. That is really, honestly, what I thought. Mario reaches out, grabs a hold of something within the flames, reaches out. We can kind of tell it's a sword. He throws it into the air, and it flies in there, and it's a Keyblade. It's the Kingdom Key. And I remember going, oh, I can't believe this is actually happening. I never thought this was going to happen. And yet, Kingdom, Simple and Clean by Utada Hikaru, is playing in a Super Smash Bros. Trailer. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to point something out to you right now. This game, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, has done the impossible 4 times. A, Snake is back. We never thought that was going to happen. B, Banjo and Kazooie. That's Microsoft. That's console competitor. Why would Nintendo work with them? And they did. 3, we got another Square Enix rep with Dragon Quest, with the hero. Yeah, I know that doesn't feel big over here, but that's a big get because it's Square Enix and they're protective. They're very protective. 4, we get Sephiroth. And they actually get more than just 2 songs with him. We got more Final Fantasy representation. We had no way of knowing. This one is not just impossible because of Square Enix. It's impossible because of Disney, because of copyright, because there's no way on this planet this could have happened. And yet it did. And I can tell you, as much as I was in denial when I thought it was going, I was initially slightly disappointed. The longer this played, I was like, I'm home. I am freaking home. Now, I believe this is the full version. It's not the shortened version they played at the beginning of that trailer, at the beginning of that direct. That Mr. Sakurai Presents. It wasn't a direct. It was a Sakurai Presents. Sora is finally here. Yeah, this is the full version. We see him fighting on a Station of Awakening. Fights Mewtwo. That fits. Fighting in different places. The temples, very familiar Hollow Bastion. All these places are reminding me of different Disney worlds. It's so cool. He's actually fought Cloud before. We get Hollow Bastion! Kingdom Hearts 1 Hollow Bastion! And it looks amazing. And then as you get close, you get these different Stations of Awakening. You know what the only disappointing fat part about these Stations of Awakening is that every Disney character in this has been scrubbed out. The only, and I do mean the only Disney-esque thing in here that you would know as Disney is the Mickey Mouse head on the Keyblade. Come on, Disney. Play a little bit more with us. This Final Smash is throwing people into the door to darkness. The Smash door to darkness, but still. Fighting Sephiroth, he's done that multiple times. There's your other Kingdom Hearts connection. Cloud and Sephiroth are in this game. And it even does the thing when you beat the deck that it goes to white. Oh, there's just so much. I want to deep dive into this. Different things. This is so cool. And this, strangely enough, I have a theory as to how this fits into lore. How this fits into Kingdom Hearts lore. I never expected this to happen in all my days, and it happened. Guys, I don't even have to tell you where this is ending up. S tier all the way. This was the best way. Considering the way this original Kingdom Hearts originally went out with, or Kingdom Hearts, way Smash Brothers Ultimate was originally going out with, with Byleth, of all people. And it went out for this. Yeah. Now, I will say there is one other thing, because, yeah, everyone was here, but not everyone was here. I'm going to see if I can find this really quick. Yeah. Not everybody was here.
Well, I've heard there was a sneaky gent who yearned to be in Smash Ultimate, then learned he wouldn't be able to. Who made the cut, the nerd, the prude, the never was, the always nude, the ones who'd never utter hallelujah. Hallelujah.
I love this.
Hallelujah. Assist trophy. Hallelujah.
By the way, this song is sung and made by Matthew Toronto of Brawl in the Family. Go check out his stuff. He's awesome.
But baby, I've been here before. You opted for the pterosaur. Some squid thing showed up and the fans said booyah. I said an echo would be fine, but you said too bad. Daisy time is a cold and it's a broken hallelujah.
I love this. This is like the perfect way to end this video. I'm sorry. It's not an actual trailer, but oh, it's great.
Now maybe I'd be way too strong. I taught the tier list all day long, but even so, who the heck asked for Pichu?
You got a point.
Why won't you let me make my case to punch some mascots in the face? I go assist yourself. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. Whatever. Waluigi will go destroy everyone and Mario Tennis Aces instead.
Yeah, I don't think that one did as well, but that Mario Tennis Aces said did that well. But if you've never actually gone and read the webcomic Brawl in the Family, which came out like during the time of Super Smash Bros. Brawl, go check out that webcomic. It's from the same guy. He does an excellent job. I actually own like all the print collection of all these. He's got a couple other cool songs in there, but go check out that. Anyway, at the same time, this has been fun trip. Unfortunately, the way I did this, even though I did it through Tier Maker, I can't tell which one of these videos is which on the tier list, because some of these is just like random pictures that without any reference. You can't tell what they are. Like the easiest one is Sonic the Hedgehog joins the brawl. So yeah, I will go ahead and save this and post it on the Facebook page. But either way, thank you all for joining me on this episode. Hopefully, we'll be able to get back to regular episodes soon with Jacob being out, I'm not sure what our schedule looks like. So I know when we come back, we are going to be doing Thunderbirds Our Go. So keep an eye out for that. We will keep you updated as much as we can in the Facebook and everything. But in the meantime, this has been Drew, and I'll catch you in the next frame.
To follow Jacob and Drew's individual internet exploits, check out the Linktree links in the show notes. You can email us at thecellcastpodcast@gmail.com, follow us on Twitter or X at @cast_cell, follow our Facebook page, The Cellcast Podcast, and join our Facebook group, The Cell Nation, our YouTube channel, Cellcast, and our Rumble channel, The Cellcast Gaming. You can join us every Friday night at 7 p.m. Central for our live recordings of our episodes on Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and Rumble. You can also join Drew on those same streaming channels on Tuesday nights at 8 p.m. Central for gaming streams. You can listen to our podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or anywhere else fine podcasts can be downloaded from. Please rate and review us where you found us. Our theme song is Drop and Roll by Silent Partner. Our bad movie theme is It's Party Time by Gregory Snegoff, with additional audio from the film Titanic: The Legend Goes On, and remember, that's Cell with a single L.
Falcon Punch!